Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here. Did you know that you're putting out vibrations into the universe every moment of every day? Some are positive and some are negative. Even if you're not consciously trying to guide them to attract abundance into your life, you're still creating them. They're being created by default and in many cases may unknowingly be negative vibrations. The universe will always give you more of what you're focusing on. It's happening right now. What are you thinking of? We're going to do an exercise right now using the law of deliberate creation. In this exercise, you're going to focus your thoughts on what you want each morning so as to deliberately send out positive vibrations. This in turn will attract similar positive vibrations back to you throughout the day, yielding immediate results. Did you hear that? Immediate results. So here's what I'd like you to do. Go ahead and get a blank sheet of paper right now. Make a list of as many ways in which you're able to accumulate residual income or anything positive in your life. The list can include things such as free advice from a colleague, an unexpected check in the mail, finding a $5 bill on the sidewalk, a friend taking you out to lunch, an unexpected sale at work, a promotion, or winning a grocery store contest. List whatever you think would help or add to your present situation. Each morning, for let's say 7 days, it'll be a 7-day exercise. Review your list in a spirit of gratefulness, as if you already received what's on the list. Do this for a few minutes so you can send out positive vibrations into the universe. This will attract more of what you desire because you always get more of what you focus on. Review your list each morning while taking the time to imagine them. Using your imagination is a very integral part of this exercise. So imagine each item affecting you in a positive way. Now keep in mind that the more imagination and especially emotion that you can put into the process, the more results you'll receive. At the end of each day, take time to record anything that you may have received, no matter how small, big, or how insignificant it might be. Write it down. This exercise will actually prove to you that the law of attraction does work and can be used to attract more of what you want in your life. I think you'll really be astounded at the results at the end of your 7 days. Go ahead and do it and be sure to share it with your friends so they can benefit from it as well. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here with a short message about crossing signals that can change your life. Before I get started, it's very important to explain two major functions or major traits of the subconscious mind. The first is that the subconscious mind will always attract what you focus on. It can't not do that. That's its purpose. It will always attract what you focus on. Or as some people say, it'll always attract more of what you're in frequency with, or whatever you're doing, you'll get more of, I guess you could say. So if you're focusing on happiness, you're going to have more happiness. If you're very angry, you're going to attract more anger until you change it. And the second trait is it does not understand negative. And these are both going to be important to understand for my message. So if you say, I don't want to be cold. I don't want to be cold because it's so darn cold outside. You're going to continue to be cold because what is your mind focusing on? Cold. It doesn't understand the don't. Kind of like when you tell a child, don't drop that, and they drop it. Don't look here. You're focusing on looking here. So what are the cross message or mismatched messages that you're sending yourself each day? Now, this morning I got up and I was thinking, Tuesday, time to make a video. What am I going to make a video on? I can't think of what to make a video on. Raluca, can you help me? I can't think of what to make a video on. I mean, this actually started last night. Oh, I'm thinking, I just can't think straight. What am I going to do a video on tomorrow? Now, listen to what I'm saying. I just can't think straight. The mind says, or the subconscious says, make it so. I don't know what to do it on. Okay. So, what are you thinking of when you're saying this? Whatever you focus on, you're attracting. So, I just can't think straight. Okay. Now, you think it would work the other way, think straight, but sometimes you get what you get. So, what are you focusing on? Now, this morning, again, we went out to get our coffees, our Dunkin' Donuts, you got to have it. And on the way back, so we need to focus on this. What are we going to do a video on? And again, I just can't think of it. Then I got in the house and I said, I do know what I'm doing a video on. It's easy to think of topics. I know exactly what I'm going to do. She goes, what? I says, shh, don't jinx it. So I came in here. I turned on, as soon as we walked in, I took off my jacket, hung up my keys. I said, okay, I'm going to get started now. I walked right in here in the studio room, turned on my studio lights, turned on the camera, got everything set, sat down. I said, okay, I'm ready to do my movie. And so Raluca went in the other room so I could have it quiet in here, still not knowing what I was going to do it on. And I says, a great topic would be to tell what's happened to me this morning, to tell how to get what you want, to explain why people are getting just the opposite of what they want. And that's what I decided to make the video on. Okay. And that's how it can change your life. When you're always saying, I don't want a divorce, I don't want a bad relationship, what are you focusing on? Having a divorce and a bad relationship. Okay. Instead, say what you want. I do want a great relationship. I do want a long, happy marriage. I do want a successful business, rather than saying, I don't want to fail in business. Oh, I don't want to have another skunked day today. I want to have a very successful day today. You see the difference? If you're focusing on what you don't want, okay, you're going to get the opposite. So I don't want, I don't want to be sick. Chances are you're attracting sickness. So always focus on what you do want. Like this morning, I do know what I'm doing for a video. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm very creative. These are the kind of things I was thinking to myself and focusing on. And ta-da, you have this wonderful, marvelous creation of mine. Okay, because I focused on what I did want. But if I continued with, I just can't think, I don't want this, I don't want to, take all day kind of thinking of an idea. You see what I mean? That's exactly what I would be doing, taking all day, trying to think of an idea, and it probably still wouldn't have been as good a video as this masterpiece is. So keep that in mind from now on. Always say and focus on what you do want. If you start to say negative, I don't this, get rid of the words don't, can't, won't. Whenever you hear one of those, just say to yourself out loud, cancel. We call that thought stopping. So when you say, I don't want, cancel. I do want this, okay? Change your thoughts. So it's thought stopping, but stop and swap into what do you want. Okay, I want you to hear that little voice. Whenever you say, I don't want, stop it and say, what do you want? Okay, what do you want, Rainey? I do want to have a great video. I do want a successful business. I do want spectacular health, spectacular relationships. I do want megabucks. Okay, maybe they're not all going to work, because before I can win megabucks, I have to buy a ticket, right? And I just don't buy tickets. But you get the idea. So that's how I am changing your life. So let me know how your thought process goes. If this happens to you, in the link below in the comments. And if this has happened to you this morning, write down also how you change that into a positive. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. And if you'd like to learn more about these concepts, about hypnosis, about programming your mind for the positive, go to the link below this video, and I have a link to our home study course, our hypnosis home study course, so you can learn as much as you need to progress your life. So be sure to give us a thumbs up and have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here. And today I'd like to speak to you about why you shouldn't wish for money. Did I raise a few eyebrows? Okay, lots of times when I'm speaking to people, especially about goal setting, I'll ask them what they want, and they say, this year, brand new year, I want to make $100,000 or I want to make $500,000. But think of that. That's like saying, I want to get a cordless drill or I want to get a skill saw. Money is a tool. Money is not your goal. Money is a tool. What are you going to do with the money? It's like having a drill or a skill saw. What are you going to do with it? You just have a toy. You just have a tool. What you really wanted is a new bookshelf or a house, because with a drill, you can put together a new bookshelf. With a skill saw, you could build a house. You need a few more tools, but that's one of the basic things. That is a tool to get you what you need. So if you're wishing for a new house, whatever kind of house it is, by wishing for that house, okay, you're going to get the drill and the skill saw and all the other tools that you need to build it. That's if you're going to build a house. And it's the same thing with money. When you're making your goals, when you're trying to wish for wealth or abundance, what exactly do you want? Of course, we all want more money. I heard once that being wealthy or having money is the noblest of all goals, because the more money you have, the more things that you can do with it. Whatever you like, you can buy more of. Whatever you enjoy doing, you can do more of it. So having more money is a very noble cause. And people say, well, gee, how about all the poor people? If you want to give it away, you can help the poor people as well. But not having money, you can't do anything. You can't help anyone. You can't enjoy yourself. So we already know that having money is a noble cause, but for what? Having a suitcase of money, $1 million in a suitcase, isn't going to be any more fun than not having it, because all I can do is just look at it. What do you want to do with it? So when you're creating your goals of wealth, abundance, whatever it is you want, what do you want? Be specific. Do you want a new house, a ranch, a colonial, 10 acres of land, 5 acres of land? Do you want a long driveway? The more specific you can be, the more imagination you can put into it, the better picture you'll create. And that's what begins the attraction process. So by saying, I want a new house, of course, a house costs money. So now the money's going to come in. There's a reason for it to come in. So you'll focus on the house and the money comes. Like that saying says, if you build it, they will come. Okay. I hope that's a good saying. That's true. But that was in the movie Field of Dreams, for those of you that seen it. So anyways, keep in mind that money is not a goal. Money is a tool, just like a skill saw is a tool, a drill is a tool, a screwdriver is a tool. So from now on, when you're focusing on what you want, when you're creating your wish list, your goal sheet, your vision board, don't put down how much money you want. Put down what you want. You want to go on a vacation, and describe the vacation as detailed as possible. Where do you want to go? When do you want to go? What hotel do you want to stay at? What are you going to do when you get there? You want a house. What kind of house? Where do you want the house? How many acres of land? I want an orchard. The more detailed, the better it's going to be, and the money will come. So have your goal of the object, okay? Wish for the object, focus on it, and the money will come. No more wishing for money. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastard Rash here. Do you have too much stress in your life? Do you have so many things happening at once that stress you out? Maybe personal issues, family issues at work, even just around the home that are all, I guess you could say, piling up and seeming to come down on you all at once. Well, here's a way to be able to identify the stress and I guess you could say to categorize it and change it, eliminate lots of it, but make it so you can be happy once again. This is a simple exercise that you can do. You can share this video with your friends and relatives also and be able to help them with their stress because stress is probably one of the number one issues behind, I'd say at least 90% of all disorders. People that come into the emergency room, about 90% of those issues, stress is a contributing factor. From everything from heart attack, strokes, all the way down to acne. Okay, stress causes just about everything. So let's get right to it. What I want you to do right now is get a sheet of paper, just any size, 8.5 by 11 notepad, because you're going to have to write some things down. You can do this with me right now in this exercise. In fact, when I ask you to do something, don't worry about me speaking quickly. Okay, just go ahead and put the video on pause, complete what I tell you to do, then come back to it. The first thing I'd like you to do is make a list of all the things that cause you stress. Now, I want you to leave a little bit of room on the right side, okay? So on the left side, we're going to have a list. So you can put list, the title, okay? And list everything that causes you stress, every little thing. Think about it around the house or around your office. Maybe that squeaky screen door causes you stress. Maybe some holes in your screen window, the screen that goes in your window. Maybe you need to have one of the legs of your chair or your table fixed. So what causes you stress around the house? Maybe some unfinished projects that you just haven't gotten to. Now let's go a little further. How about family? Are there people in the family that do things that cause stress, that cause you stress constantly? Maybe they're annoying, maybe they're badgering, whatever it is, write it down. How about friends? Do you have friends that are constantly calling you for wanting to borrow things or want things of you? Remember, everyone has their own agenda and it's their agenda, okay? So you don't have to be pulled into it. But people like to include you in their agenda. So does it cause you stress? Do you have someone that's so negative, what I call energy vampires, that just suck the energy out of you that you just don't want to be around? Write them down. All the people who cause you stress, who annoy you, who, as my father used to say, who brighten up the room just by leaving it, okay? Write them down. How about at work? Maybe parts of your job really annoy you, things that you don't want to do that stresses you out every time you have to do it. People that stress you out every time you meet them. Maybe they treat you condescending. They don't treat you well. So think about that at work, at home, in your everyday life. What kinds of things cause you stress? Your car, your boat, your home, your family, your friends. Write them all down. So go ahead and take the time and do that, as many as you can. You don't have to write every single one because this is a list you can add to. So go ahead and put me on pause for a second if you need to and write them down. Okay, hopefully you wrote them all down. Now, on that same sheet, or if you don't have room, take another sheet and put it right beside it. What I want you to do is, as titles, okay, you have columns going all the way down. As titles, I want you to write fix, change, eliminate. Let's start with fix. Look at each one of these items, and while I'm talking, just do it with a couple at the top, just so you know how to do it, and you can go back and do it after. Which items on this list can you fix? Okay, if it's the squeaky door, like I said earlier, you can probably fix that, can't you? Or you can have someone else fix it. And so write down whichever ones you can fix. Now, you're not going to probably be able to fix all of them. If you can, that'd be great. But which ones can you fix? And what can you do to fix them? Now, the next column, if you can't fix it, change. Which ones can you change? Okay, if you can't fix that door, can you change it? Can you get another door up there? If you can't fix your car, can you get another car? Is it really something that stresses you out so much that you would need another car? How about a relationship? Someone's really annoying you. They're very condescending. If you can't fix it, in other words, if you can't, speak to them and ask them to stop doing it, can you change the situation? Is there something you could do? Maybe get transferred into another department, get them transferred in another department. But is it something that you can change? If there's something about your job you don't like, is that something you can change? So go all the way down your list. Whatever you couldn't fix, could you change it? Annoying friends. Can you change something about them or something about you or the way you deal with them? Now, the last part of the list, eliminate. Stress basically kills. Stress causes all these major diseases that can harm you seriously. So this is a serious thing. If you can't fix the stress and you can't change the stress, you've got to eliminate it. So can you eliminate the stress? If you can't fix the door, you can't change the door, can you just take the door off the hinges so you don't hear the squeaking and the banging all the time? If you can't fix something at work and you can't change it, can you eliminate it altogether? If it's a project you're working on, can you get out of the project? If it's a trip you have to go on, can you eliminate the trip? If it's a friend and he's an energy vampire, if you can't fix it, you can't speak to him to get him to stop doing what he's doing, and you can't change it, can you eliminate him? Now, when I say eliminate him, okay, I'm not saying no, boom, no, that's not what I mean. In other words, can you get yourself away from him? Can you stop seeing them? Can you let them know, hey, we're no longer friends. I don't want to speak to you anymore. You might not even have to tell them that. Can you just keep away from them to eliminate the stress? So do this with everything on your list. Fix, change, and eliminate. Now, you might not be able to do it with every single stress on the list. I mean, with the IRS, if you can't fix it and you can't change it, you certainly can't tell them to go away because they're not going to. It's kind of like the policeman that pulled you over for speeding. Okay, I can't fix it. I already, I can't change it. I got caught, and I can't eliminate it because if I try to take off, you can't ignore something like that. So there might be one or two you can't do it with. But once you look at the whole list and go through it, you're going to find that probably half, maybe even 3/4, you change the situation. You're moving up on the ladder. You're getting rid of so much stress in your life. All of a sudden, you're going to feel, I can breathe. So go ahead, go through all your stresses and fix, change, or eliminate them and start to breathe better, start to have a happier life. So go ahead and do this for yourself. Share it with your friends. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. And if you have any ideas of how to deal with stress, please let me know so we can share it with everyone else. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and click on the share button and have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here. You ever wonder why you seem to get what you don't want in life? Does what you don't want seem to come to you more than what you think it should? Well, let me tell you a secret why this is happening. You always get what you don't want because you're asking for it. You may not even know you're doing it. Let me tell you why. The subconscious mind, one of the main traits of the subconscious mind is that you will always, always, always get what you focus on. Think about that. You'll always get what you focus on. Not what you say, what you focus on, okay? It's kind of like your subconscious mind is a 5-year-old out of control genie, okay? It'll give you everything Everything you're thinking, everything you're thinking. So if you're thinking or you're focusing on, I want money, boom, the money's coming. But then if you start focusing on, I don't want to go broke, what are you focusing on? Going broke. When you say you don't want something, you are focusing on the thing that you don't want. Because another trait of the subconscious mind is that it does not understand negative. The subconscious, or the universal consciousness, is inclusive only. It's only positive. Any negative is of the conscious mind, something we as humans created. So when you say, I don't want to go broke, I don't want to get a divorce, I don't want to lose my business, I don't want to be sick, you're focusing on going broke, getting a divorce, losing your business, and being sick. Instead, you need to focus on, I am healthy. I am wealthy. I have great relationships. You see what I mean? Only focus on what you want. So those of you that are having things come to you negative, think about what you've been focusing on. Are you getting up in the morning and maybe feeling a sniffle and you say, oh, I don't want to get a cold. I don't want to get sick. I really need to be healthy. I don't want this. I don't want that. That's why you're attracting it. Only focus on what you want. So the next time you say, I don't, stop yourself immediately and say, what do I want? It's amazing. Luca does a lot of counseling with people, or coaching, I should say. And she'll ask somebody, so what's going on in your business? The guy says, oh, things are getting really tough. I really don't want to lose my business. You see what he's focusing on? He's creating the tough situation in his business. So she'll say, what do you want? I didn't say, what don't you want? What do you want? He goes, I want a successful business. Now, since the subconscious mind doesn't understand time either, past, present, it's only now, he needs to say, I have a successful business. Or if it's for health, I am healthy, even if you're not. Because if you're not healthy, if you get that sniffle, you'd be lying by saying, I'm sick, because only a little part of you is sick. The rest of your body's healthy. Your muscles are fine. Your brain's fine. So focus on what you want. Focus on the positive only, because that's all the subconscious mind understands. And it will always, always, always draw to you or attract to you what you focus on. It can't not do that, because that's its job. That's its nature. Remember How to Control Genie. Boom, 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 boom. Only focus on the positive. Now, some people say, well, I'm focusing on, having money. How come it doesn't come? Again, the focus needs to be constant. I want money. It's coming. I don't know if I deserve it. Okay, you're probably right. Oh, but I want it, but I just never get it. People in my neighborhood, or people of my nationality, or people of whatever, the victim mentality kicking in, don't get it. Okay, poof, gift, wish granted. So you're kind of like getting it here, going there, getting it here, going there. You need to focus on something and keep a laser beam focus, and it will come to you. So where it comes to health, wealth, sickness, what do you want? Think about it, and it'll happen. Thanks for watching. Be sure to share this with your friends, because a lot of them are having bad things happening as well. And have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here. Did you know that your present life, as it is right now, is a distorted image of what is actually going on with you? Kind of like looking in one of those carnival mirrors, okay? When you look in a carnival mirror, what you're seeing is not what's really there, okay? You don't look all wavy and squiggly. So in real life, though, the way your life is now is a validation of your past thoughts and focusing. So if you're having a hard time with finances, it may not be on what you're focusing now. It's because of how you were focusing in the past. So if you're having difficulty with your health, with your relationships, that's a result of your focus. I sometimes tell people, Your present situation, the way your life is right now, your lack of health, wealth, or relationship, being close, or your excess of health, wealth, and great relationships is your fault. You created it. And they go, how could I have created a bad relationship? Okay. No one focuses on, I want a bad relationship. But they do sometimes focus on, oh, I don't want to get a divorce. I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. And because the mind doesn't understand negative, you're focusing on divorce, fighting, or arguing. You see what I mean? You have to be careful of what you focus on. If you've been having a hard time with finances and you don't want to go under, you don't want to lose your business, you don't want to be broke, you're focusing on those negative things. You need to focus on what you want. I want wealth. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I have great relationships. You're focusing on that. That's what you're attracting. So the way your life is right now, don't be despaired, okay? Because the way you are right now is a result of your past focus. Okay, you're a shadow of your thoughts of who you are right now. Because what you're thinking right now, where your focus is right now, is the new you that you're creating. So there's not a problem. If you don't like where your life is right now, you can change it just by changing your story. What is the story that you're telling yourself about your life right now? I am healthy. Every morning I get up and I say to myself, I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. I have great relationships, not just with my spouse, but with everyone. I have great relationships. That's what I'm attracting to me. And that's what will always come to me as long as I focus on that. So focus on what you want and become it. Create the you that you want to be. And remember, change your story and you change your life. It's whatever you focus on. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe and share this with your friends. I'm sure it'll help them as well. And have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi, Rennie here with the American School of Hypnosis, and today I'd like to speak to you about one of the biggest reasons why you can't sleep at night and how to fix it. We get a lot of people writing in and calling into us asking us why they have such a hard time sleeping at night. Think of it. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I have such a hard time sleeping? Well, that's the exact problem right there. It's your self-talk. So many people do that. Negative self-talk is very effective to the mind. You're giving yourself suggestions. That's what self-hypnosis is giving yourself suggestions. So when you say, why do I have such a hard time sleeping? Since your subconscious mind doesn't understand negative, that's one of the major traits of the subconscious. All it's hearing you say is, I have such a hard time sleeping. So the subconscious mind, another rule of the subconscious mind is to give you everything you focus on. So it says, make it so. You can't sleep. So when you say, I can't sleep, or why can't I sleep? It doesn't understand the can't. Can't, don't, won't, do not register in the subconscious. It only understands positive, not negative. So it's thinking, I can't sleep. Okay, make it so. It's like a little genie granting all your wishes. Okay. So instead, you need to say, I can sleep. I sleep easily, and focus on those words. So when you go to bed tonight, don't start thinking or saying, why can't I sleep? Or I'm going to have such a hard time sleeping, because the mind will say, make it so, and you will have a hard time sleeping. That's what you're focusing on. Change your focus. You're in control of your own mind. So from now on, I sleep easily. I go to sleep fast. I love going to sleep easily. I look forward to going to sleep. Those are positive suggestions, and your subconscious mind once again will say, make it so. But the key is the focus. It's kind of like if you use a guided missile. Have you ever seen a guided missile? Wherever you keep your crosshairs aimed on the target, it will follow. So if you're focusing on a target and saying, I can sleep, I can sleep, I can sleep. Oh, I don't know. Now it's going off. Oops, I can sleep, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. I can sleep, but I doubt it. I can sleep, but should I really? You see what I mean? Every time you have a negative, it goes off target, You need to keep the positive focus. I sleep easily, and keep that focus until you fall asleep. So yeah, it's kind of like fake it till you make it. You have to focus on it and believe it, whether it's true or not. And you're giving yourself these positive suggestions that will be accepted by your mind as long as you continue doing it. So go ahead and do that tonight to be able to sleep quickly and easily. Now, if you'd like to learn more about self-hypnosis and how to give yourself positive suggestions the proper way, I'd like to give you our 446-page hypnosis manual absolutely free. It contains a treasure of information on how to help yourself and others. To get it, just go to the link below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to share this with your friends and don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye now. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here, and today I'm going to show you a game that you can play when you find yourself complaining about things in your life and acting like a victim that can turn your entire situation around. You want to play? Why would you want to stop being a victim? Because a victim cannot be successful. Being a victim and being successful are on two different frequencies. It's kind of like a radio station putting out music on the frequency, let's say 98.5. So that frequency is going out 98.5. There's great music, but you're tuned into 101. Okay, so that's going to go right past. You'll never hear the music. It'll never come in contact with you. And it's the same thing with being a victim is on one frequency, being successful is on another. So what is a victim? A victim is someone who complains, explains, and justifies. I'm sure you're familiar with them. You've probably fallen into the category from time to time. Imagine people sitting around a table just talking about their ailments. This one has this problem, then the next one talks about their problem, and the next one talks about their problem. And they keep on going around the table, almost competing to see who has the worst situation. Or they're talking about how many pills they take. I mean, I've heard them say, I'm taking 5 pills a day. Well, I'm taking 15. Well, I'm taking 27 pills a day. It's also people who sit around complaining about their lack of income. They don't have enough money to pay their bills or to make ends meet, and even how bad their relationships are. But when you're complaining, explaining, or justifying, what you're doing is you're focusing on the negativity and you're attracting more of that negativity to you. In the case of sickness and disability, you're attracting more sickness, more disability, more dependency on the pills. You're talking about how many you're taking. When you're talking about the lack of income, you're basically attracting more lack of income, more debt. And with relationships, of course, your relationship begins to strain even more because you're focusing on the strain. And what's really interesting is when I speak to people about the complaining and what happens, how they're attracting more to them, they immediately get defensive and begin to explain and justify their behavior, their lack of, the reason why they're complaining. And again, it's attracting more to them and they're becoming even more of a victim. So what's the alternative? The alternative is to take responsibility for your situation. Responsible people are successful. People who don't take responsibility, victims, cannot be. Those are the two different frequencies. So how do you do that? Well, that's the purpose of this video. I like to call it the victim game. It's probably one of the most effective games that you can play that will make immediate and positive changes in your life. So let's talk about how to play it. Now, there's 8 steps to this game, so you might want to get a pen and a paper to write it down. Okay, the biggest thing about a game is you want to know how to play it right. So I'm going to go ahead and read these off my list to make sure I don't miss any steps. I want you to play the game by the rules. Ready? Number 1 is to stop the thought. When you begin having these negative thoughts, when you begin complaining and explaining and justifying and find yourself getting in this spiral going downward, as soon as you notice it, just say to yourself out loud, stop. It's important to stop the thought because your thoughts will continue. They'll get bigger and bigger. You'll start going down, feeling more and more depressed and upset. So stop. Now it's a stop and swap. So when you stop, you need to change that thought. You need to get rid of it. So how do you get rid of the negative thought about, oh, this is going to happen and that's so bad? Number 2 is to bring yourself to the now. Do you realize that when you're stressed, if you can bring yourself to the now, there's no more stress? There is no stress in now. Stress comes from the future, what's going to happen, or from the past, what did happen. But right now, you listening and watching me and me speaking to you, this is the best that life happens to get right now. This is what it is, and it's okay. So bring yourself to the now. Right now, you're not any sicker than you were a second ago. Right now, you're not any more broke than you were. Right now, everything's okay. If it has to do with money issues, right now, the bill collector isn't here. Maybe you have a bill that you can't pay. Maybe you're waiting for the bill to come in the mail tomorrow, or you're expecting a phone call, or you're worried what's going to happen with this or that. But right now, it's okay. This very breath, you're still here watching me, right? So this very breath, you're just as healthy as you were. You're just as wealthy or lack wealthy, whatever it is. You're the same, but it's okay. Right now, your relationship hasn't changed, not this very moment. So bring yourself to the now. So number 1, stop the thought. Number 2, bring yourself to the now. Number 3, look at the big picture. What do I mean by the big picture? Okay, let's say a lot of people come up to me and say, oh, I'm so broke. I'm so broke. And when I say, why are you broke? They'll say, well, I can't pay this bill and I can't pay that bill. So I'll say, do you still have your house? Yeah. You have a good, or if not a house, do you have a good place to live? Yeah. Do you still have your relationship? You still have your family? Yeah. You're not in the hospital dying of something, right? Oh, no. So right now, the only problem is you can't pay this bill. So look at all the things you can do. So instead of being 100% broke, they're probably 10, maybe 15% broke because they still have their car, their job, their family, their health. Okay, so why do you focus on the littlest bit? Look at the big picture. So instead of saying broke, you can say I'm wealthy because you're more wealthy than you are broke. The same thing with the health, okay? I realize there's a lot of disabilities out there, but so many people focus on their disability. When how about focusing on your ability? We know what you can't do. We know, or you know, that you're sick about this or that, but continuing to focus on it is going to make it worse. So why not focus on what you can do? Okay, the famous physicist, Stephen Hawking, you ever heard of him? In 1963, he was diagnosed with motor neuron disease. I got to look that one up, okay? And he was given 2 years to live. This is back in 1963. Now, as you know, Stephen Hawking went on to be one of the most famous physicists there is. He's probably, he was looked at as probably second in intelligence in the world to Albert Einstein. Okay, so here's the most brilliant man in the world. He went on focusing on his ability, and he was given 2 years to live. Well, he just died recently. So that was over, I believe, about 53 years he lived instead of 2. He focused on his abilities. He went back to Cambridge, got his degree, even though he was given 2 years to live. So focus on your abilities. What can you do? Can you still work? Can you work from home? Can you work from a computer? If your hands aren't working, how about your mind? Okay, can you still speak? There's so many things you can do. So look at the big picture. Are you 100% disabled? Really? I mean, is there no abilities you have, or are there still abilities? Is your relationship a total loss? If it is, maybe it's time to move on, but look at the big picture. If it's not, maybe it's just a problem. Did you forget your wife's birthday or your girlfriend's birthday? Did you forget your anniversary? Okay, it might be a little rocky, but how about the big picture? How much good is there? Okay, so focus on the big picture, the percentage. That's a good thing to do. Next, number 3, I call it dare to compare. What do I mean by that? A lot of different programs, when they talk about these kind of things, they say that you should go out and be of service. Go out and do something for other people. Now, the whole idea of being of service is great, but what's the purpose of that besides helping people and feeling good about it? Some of the biggest advantages of that is it gets you out of the house. It gets you away out of the pot, I guess you could say, the boiling pot, the negativity. Oh, woe is me, and my finances are bad, and I'm taking all these pills, and you're complaining. But by getting out of the pot, by getting out into the public and seeing other people, you're going to see that there's a lot of people out there who have it a lot worse than you. One day I was feeling out of it myself, and I was feeling down and bummed out, and I went to Walmart to get something. And when the door opened to Walmart, there was this young gentleman with Down syndrome with the biggest smile on his face, and welcome to Walmart. Come on in. It's so great to see you. And he was welcoming everybody, this way. Matter of fact, I sat down at the Dunkin' Donuts right by the door of Walmart and just sat there watching this guy. I mean, even with his disability, he was so happy. He was brightening up the day of so many people. So that's what I mean about getting out, and you see other people who are just so happy that might have it a lot worse than you. You might have a foot that's hurting and you're complaining about how your foot hurts, and you go to the mall and you see somebody out there with a prosthetic leg, and he's just, going out and doing his business, and you see somebody jogging that has a prosthetic leg. There's so many people that have it a lot worse than you. So you should be happy that you are the way you are. It could be a lot worse. So the big picture. Number 5. Hey everyone, before we go too far with this video, I just wanted to come on live to say Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there, and welcome you to our Hypnosis Sunday with Mind Hacks. We're actually playing some of our best mind hacks back to back to be able to help as many people, new people coming in, seeing what it's all about, existing people. So go ahead and leave us some comments. Say, hey, we're actually monitoring the chat. Come in, let us know who you are, where you're from. I like to see who's the furthest one from Raluca. It's like a contest. She's like 30 feet away. So if you think you're further from me than 30 feet, let me know who you are, where you're from. We'll see who the furthest is. If you enjoy seeing a day like this where we put on mind hacks or different kinds of things, maybe sessions, let us know also. We're doing this to be able to help as many of you as possible, but we need to hear from you to find out whether it's something that you can use or not. Because like I said, we don't want to be here. I mean, we could be fishing. Actually, nah. It's Father's Day. So I want to wish you all a happy Father's Day. Hope you're enjoying the show, and let me get right back to me. Ask yourself, what do I want? We all know what we don't want. You don't want the sickness. You don't want the relationship that you're in, or maybe the way it is to be that way. You don't want to be broke or losing your business or not paying your bills. But what do you want? This is something that Raluca asks me all the time. I'll be going, oh man, this isn't going the way it's supposed to. And she'll look at me and she'll, what do you want? Okay. It makes you pause. What do you want? I know when Raluca does counseling, she'll have people coming in with marital problems and she'll say, what do you want? And the guy will say, I don't want a divorce. You see how you say what you don't want when you're asked what you do want? By saying, I don't want a divorce, what's he focusing on? Getting a divorce. So he's getting closer to that. When you say, what do you want? Somebody with money problems. Oh, I don't want to lose my business. You're focusing on losing your business. What you need to be saying is, I want to be successful. I want to make 100,000 this year. I want to make $5,000 this week. I want a wonderful relationship. I want to go out with my spouse places and both of us looking at each other with big smiles. I want to be healthy. So what do you want? That's very important. Once you decided what you want, then we go to number 6, which is, what would it be like? Now, I had a video on this just recently. The whole video was all about what would it be like? That's basically one of the best ways to get the law of attraction to work. I often tell people to focus on what they want by acting like they're already that way. Well, sometimes it could be difficult to be broke and say, I'm wealthy, or to be sick and say, I'm healthy, but that's what you need to be doing, because whatever you focus on, that's what you're attracting. So remember when I said, what's the percentage? If you're 10% broke and you're focusing on, I am broke, guess what? You're not telling the truth. You're lying, because you might be 90% not broke. So you can say, I'm wealthy. It's as easy to say I'm wealthy as it is I'm broke. It's as easy to say I'm healthy as it is I'm sick. Okay, so you need to say it and you need to feel it and you need to imagine it. But it can be difficult to do it. So try saying, what would it be like if I were healthy? Imagine what it would be like. If I were healthy, man, that would be great. I could get up and run and go fishing and do the things I want to do. Imagine what it would be like if I were wealthy. If I were wealthy, I could do this and do that and help this one and do all the things I wanted to do. Imagine what it would be like if I had a spectacular relationship. You see what I mean by saying, imagine what you'd be like. You're focusing on it. You're putting yourself in the scenario. It's kind of like on that little stage in front of you. You're playing out a little play or a movie or act where you are the successful non-victim, the successful person who's taking control of their life, taking responsibility. So what would it be like? Take just doesn't have to be a long time, just maybe a minute to do that. What would it be like? Number 7 is to have continual focus. Think of that, continual focus. All the previous steps to this point got you to thinking about what would it be like? Well, if you just say, what would it be like? And oh, that's nice. And then go on to back to complaining and feeling bad and all that, it's not going to help, because you're going to be attracting that. But the more you can focus, what would it be like? The more you can, if you want to call it daydream, but use your imagination and see yourself as the person you want to be, the more you're attracting it. That's the whole idea of the law of attraction, as well as the way the subconscious mind works. The subconscious mind will always, always, always bring to you what you focus on. It can't not do that, because that's one of its main purposes. However, you start focusing on positive, then negative, positive and negative. And it's kind of like we're going like this, trying to find something. I want it. I don't. I want it. I'm not worthy. I want it. I don't think I can get there. I want it. Oh, I feel guilty. I want it. Well, I don't really deserve it. You see what I mean? So it's like you need to have a laser guided, missile with the crosshairs right on what you want. The nice thing about a laser guided missile is if you start to go off track, you can bring it right back. See, right now, you're what I'm focusing on. But, oh, I don't think so. Oops, bring my thoughts back. Oh, but doubt and guilt. Oops, bring my thoughts back. Oh, but, victim mentality. Stop. What do I want? I keep on bringing that back right to you. Almost got you, huh? And that's the whole idea. How long do you do it? Until you attain your goal. So keep that focus. And that brings us to number 7. While you're doing all the other things, okay, you're focusing on what you want, you're imagining it, wouldn't it be great? Take action. I was always taught thoughts without works is dead, okay? You need to take action. What can you do to bring you in the direction of where you want to be. You may be disabled, but what ability do you have? With those abilities, what can you do to help yourself in whatever way? You might not have enough money. You might not be able to pay the bill, but while you're focusing on being wealthy, what can you do to help that? What do you have around the house that maybe can make money for you that you could sell? What kind of talents do you have that maybe you can do for someone to bring in some cash? What kind of advertising? What kind of, what is there that you can do? What action? It doesn't have to be big, even small, if you start taking a little bit of action towards that direction. So to sum it up, whether it's health, wealth, relationships, or whatever, instead of complaining about the disability, focus on your ability, take action, and improve things. So play this game. And let me go through the steps one more time for you in case you didn't write them down. Number 1 is stop the thought. Number 2, go to now. Bring it to the now. Number 3 is look at the big picture. Number 4 is dare to compare. Number 5 is what do you want? Number 6 is what would it be like? Number 7, continual focus. Number 8, take action. So go ahead and play this game and share it with your friends also. I'm sure they can use it. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, okay? It'll help me to play my game. Bye-bye now. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here, and today I'd like to give you a law of attraction hack that's short, sweet, and very powerful. For those of you who are familiar with the law of attraction, you realize that it's like attracts like. Whatever you focus on, you attract to you. And that's not only the law of attraction, but that's also one of the basic features of the subconscious mind. Whatever you focus on, not just what you think about, but what you focus on, you attract to you. So if you focus on positive, you attract it to you. If you focus on negative, you attract it to you. But here's the situation. With the law of attraction or with the subconscious mind teachings that we have, we tell people that whatever you want, you focus on as if you already have it. In other words, I have it now, because there's another feature of the subconscious mind that says it does not understand time. So if you say, I want to be wealthy, it says, okay, I'll wait. I want to be healthy. Okay, I'll wait. Even though you may not be healthy, you need to say, I am healthy. You might not be wealthy right now. You need to say, I am wealthy. So the problem arises that you say, I am wealthy. I am wealthy. You're focusing on it. And then you say, oh, gosh, I have this bill. I have that bill. So it kind of defeats the purpose, because when you're saying, I am wealthy, you're attracting wealth and opportunity to you. But then you go back to, oh, I got this bill and I got that bill. And now you're attracting the negative or lack of wealth to you. The problem is people don't believe it. You need to say it and you need to believe it, because you need to be able to imagine yourself being wealthy in your mind if you want to have it, if you want to attract it. So how can you do that? Here's something Raluca taught me. She studies a lot. She's very much into the law of attraction. And she taught me this a while ago, and it works really well. Instead of saying, I am wealthy, try this. Wouldn't it be nice to be wealthy? Wouldn't it be nice to be healthy? And think about what it would be like. So wouldn't it be nice to be wealthy? To have that 10-acre working farm in the country, to have that vacation every month that I want to go on. Wouldn't it be nice to have that fill in the blank car or truck that I've always wanted to have? Wouldn't it be nice to go on a vacation with it? Wouldn't it be nice to go cross country with it? And imagine it, because of course, the more you imagine, the more you think about it, the more real it gets. And of course, which we speak about this a lot, if you want to really supercharge it, get emotional. It's kind of like, I guess you could say, thought is the vehicle. Imagination is the gas that moves your vehicle, and emotion is what supercharges the gas. Okay, so that's what you use to get something really fast. So if you want, let's say, wealth, wouldn't it be nice to be wealthy? Wow, if I could be wealthy, I'd have this, I'd have that, and I could be doing this, and I could be helping people with that, and I can da 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 da. And you imagine it, and you get emotional about it. And what you're doing is you're attracting it to you a lot quicker. So give it a shot. Wouldn't it be nice if you all could have just what you want? Wouldn't it be nice if you could be successful? Wouldn't it be nice if you could be healthy? Wouldn't it be nice if you could have a spectacular relationship? Wouldn't it be nice if you would subscribe right now below? That would be so nice. I can feel the emotion. Go ahead and subscribe. Really, you're going to help my drawing it to me. So thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Be sure to share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye. Hi, Rainy Bastarash here with the American School of Hypnosis. Do you need to fall asleep fast? In this video, I'll show you how. You know, preparation is the key to a good night's sleep. Lots of people stay awake at night thinking about the things that they have to do tomorrow, what happened today, the problems, the daily dramas, and the list goes on. Here's a list of 6 things that you can do to prepare yourself to sleep, and my favorite technique to get to sleep fast. So let's get started. Number 1 is to stop eating a couple hours before you go to sleep. This gives you time to digest your food, to eliminate having gas all night long and feeling uncomfortable. Number 2 is to try to keep away from sugars, coffee, salts, or high carb foods before going to bed. Sugar and carbs will just plain keep you up all night long. High salty food will make you thirsty, so you drink more. And guess what? What goes in must come out. And of course, the high carb foods, like I mentioned in number 1, will bloat you. It's harder to digest and will make you uncomfortable all night. Number 3 is to take some time to unwind before going to bed each night. If you're watching television or working on your computer right up until bedtime, you haven't given yourself any time to unwind. So when you go to bed, you're going to be thinking about all the things that you have to do, all the things that you should have gotten rid of by now while you're lying down. So if you took an hour or two before going to bed to take the time to think about these things, you'll have thought about them. And when you go to bed, you'll be able to go to sleep. Number 4 is to take the time to create a to-do list. The great thing about a to-do list is normally when people go to bed, they start thinking about, oh, tomorrow I have to do this, I have to do that. Oh, I can't forget to call John. I got to pick up the kids, had a birthday cake at the bakery, all these different things you have to remember. So a lot of people will keep running them in their mind all night long so they don't forget them rather than getting to sleep. By creating a to-do list, you can write down all the busy things that you have to do tomorrow. You're taking your time, especially in this last hour or two that you're taking to relax and unwind. Write down whatever comes to mind, whatever is bothering you, that you have to do tomorrow. And now you can let go of them. Now, maybe you have things that you're thinking about that are, keeping your mind busy that aren't able to go on a to-do list. Maybe they're personal things, maybe problems and situations. In that case, you might want to start a journal or even a diary These are for the more personal things that you can write down and let go of tonight. Once you've written them down, you know they're going to be there in the morning, so you can review your list in the morning or your journal or your to-do list. And that gives you the permission that you need to let yourself get to sleep fast. Number 5 is to prepare your room to go to sleep. A lot of people have, especially in this day of electronics, a lot of people have tons of electronics in their room. They have televisions, they have radios, they keep their cell phone by the bed. There's an alarm clock. There might be several clocks. Well, I'm showing my age here, but there's lava lamps, fancy psychedelic things. Matter of fact, even we have one of those salt lamps. It's like a red salt lamp with a little light bulb inside, so it gives like reddish light, throughout the room. So there's a lot of different electronic things that people have in their bedroom. Get rid of those electronics in the bedroom. Now, don't throw them away, but put them outside of the room. It's actually been proven scientifically that having a lot of electronics around your head when you're going to sleep at night will not be conducive in helping you to get to sleep. So getting them outside of the room makes it a more comfortable, relaxing, let go space to go to sleep at night. Number 6, this is actually one of the most important ones, is to change your mindset about sleeping. You need to change your mindset from I can't fall asleep or I have difficulty falling asleep to I fall asleep quickly and easily. The old fake it till you make it. Whatever you focus on, your subconscious mind will always give you. That's the basic law of attraction. Unfortunately, it works with positive or negative. So if you say to yourself, or you're focusing on, I fall asleep quickly, your subconscious mind is like a little genie and it says, make it so. But if you focus on, I have difficulty falling asleep or I just can't fall asleep, your mind also says, make it so, because that's what you're focusing on. That's what you're attracting to you. So change your focus on, I can sleep easily and quickly. So those are the 6 helpmates or 6 things you can do to help yourself or prepare yourself to go to sleep. And now here's my favorite technique to be able to go to sleep quickly. Are you ready? Lots of people can't sleep because they don't know how to. They just try and they're going sleep, sleep, or they're trying to focus on nothing and something pops into their head. Focusing on nothing is a lot harder than what you think. So I'm going to show you how to go to sleep by focusing on something. What do you have to focus on? I just told you to get rid of all the electronics in the room, right? So here's what you focus on. I'm going to have you focus on something that you always have with you. So no matter where you go, whether you're in a hotel, friend's house, wherever, you can still focus on this because you have it with you. And that's your breathing. You always have your breathing to focus on. I remember a guru many years ago told me a form of meditation with your breathing. And he says the great thing about focusing on your breathing is you always have it with you. And when you don't have it with you anymore, you don't have to meditate. Okay. Kind of like off humor, but I always remember that. So your breathing is always with you. So here's how it works. I'm going to say it to you as if I was teaching it to you. Okay. So this is going to help you to understand it. You could even close your eyes and do it with me right now if you like. Make sure you're at someplace where if you did fall asleep, okay, it's all right. Don't close your eyes and listen to this while you're driving or using any kind of dangerous equipment. But I'm going to do it this way. So this way you can understand it and you can do it for yourself when you go to bed tonight. Okay, so in a moment, I'm going to have you count your breaths backwards from 100 down to 1. Now, here's how I want you to do it. I'm going to have you focus on your breathing in a normal, regular breathing way. You don't have to breathe really slow or breathe fast. Just breathe normally in a relaxed way and comfortable. And as you take a breath, concentrate and notice your breathing. Normally, you would inhale and then you exhale. And then there's a split second where your breathing stops and then you inhale for the next one. So at that second where your breathing just stops, I want you to count to yourself 100. Then you take your next breath and you exhale, 99. And then you take your next one. So that's how it's going to go. I'm going to have you count each breath starting from 100, going all the way down to 1. But once you begin, okay, doing this, you're going to count quietly, just in your mind. I don't want you to count out loud, because if you have a spouse sleeping next to you, then they're going to have troubles with insomnia, okay? So you're going to do this and count normally. And like I said, people don't even need to know you do it. Don't make your breathing loud, just normal, everyday breathing. So you're going to start going 100, 99, 98, 97 in your mind. And you're going to keep on doing that until it becomes inconvenient, uncomfortable. You just don't feel like doing it anymore. And as soon as you get to the point where you don't feel like doing it anymore, I want you to just let go and allow yourself to fall asleep. Yes, you don't have to complete the task. That's the important thing. You don't have to count all the way down to 1. Some people will stop counting maybe at 85, 80. Some of them will go down to 70 or 60. The majority of them will have let go, because it is tiring to do that at night, and it gives you something to focus on where you can let everything else go, and you kind of have to let everything else go to concentrate on your numbers until you fall asleep. Now, if you lose your place, some people will go 85, 84. Where was I? If you lose your place, stop back at 100, okay, and then continue going. If it gets to the point where, you do get all the way down to 0, some people are task oriented and they have to finish a task, okay? That's not the point here. But if you're one of those and you do finish the task, then just realize when you finally get down to 0, or I should say 1, because there's really no 0. When you get down to 1, you're done the job. So just close your eyes and let yourself go to sleep. So that's the complete program. It's very simple, easy to do. Go ahead and give it a shot tonight. See how it works for you. Now, remember to keep in mind that one of the most important steps is to change your mindset. Believe and expect to go to sleep while you're doing it. The expectation, the belief is so strong, and that alone can help you to get to sleep a lot faster. So pleasant dreams, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe below, and please share this with your friends, because you'd be surprised how many other people have difficulty sleeping or would like to sleep a lot quicker. Bye-bye now. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here, and today I'd like to speak to you about how to feed your mind. Before I start though, I'd like you to listen to the saying. How many of you have heard the saying, you are what you eat? Meaning, if you're always eating unhealthy junk food, your body is eventually going to become unhealthy and you're just not going to feel good. But if you eat healthy, nutritious food, you're going to have energy, you're going to feel better, you're going to look better. Well, everyone believes that having to do with nutrition for the body, but how about nutrition for the mind? Works the same way. Think of this. There's 3 sayings I want you to listen to. The first one is, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. Now, with hypnosis, one of the main things I teach, one of the main traits of the subconscious mind, is that you always attract what you focus on. So that's number 2. You always attract what you focus on. So what are you focusing on? And number 3 is your present life situation is validation of the thought process you've been having to this point. So however your life situation is right now, think of it, whether you're healthy, whether you're sick, whether you're wealthy, whether you're broke, however you are right now is validation of your thought process to this point. People say, oh, but I've been having such a hard time. And that's why you're having such a hard time, okay? I just haven't felt well, which is why you don't feel well. What you focus on, what you're constantly thinking, is how you're going to be And your present life validation is proof of that, or your present life situation. So it's kind of like this. I have a little lesson that I used to teach many years ago when I was in Sunday school. And let's say this is the human mind, this small container. The problem is we're constantly feeding our mind bad thoughts. Each one of these black balls, oops, I just lost one. Each one of these is a bad thought. That one was so bad that it ran away. Let me see. Oops, I caught him. So I have one bad thought. I have another bad thought. You keep on having bad thoughts, and eventually your mind becomes full. It's completely full with bad thoughts. Now, bad thoughts can be thoughts of poverty, thoughts of sickness, whatever it is that you don't want. If you focus on it, your mind becomes full of it. And what happens is what goes in your mind is what basically it's going to be coming out of your mind too. Okay, so it's there. That's what you're going to get. What goes in comes out. So when you're constantly thinking bad, you're going to have bad. What you need to do is you need to start feeding yourself. So what would happen if you started to feed yourself positive, positive thoughts? Started feeding yourself positive thoughts. Then let's get another positive thought. Now watch what happens. I feed myself another positive thought. Negative comes out. So as you're filling your vessel with positive thoughts, remember I put 3 positive ones in there. Oops, these are too tight. Okay. As you start feeding yourself positive, the negative comes out. And you can see what's happening is what's coming out the other end. Now it's all positive. Your mind's filled with positive. You're getting positive results. That's how you feed your mind. So whatever you feed your mind, if you feed it healthy, you're going to get healthy. If you feed it positive, you're going to get positive. What can you do to start feeding your mind? And why should you? Well, think of it. You might have been really positive. You might have been doing really good at one point, but now you're not. The problem is you start doing good and then you get so busy trying to do all these good projects and you get frustrated and people are telling you it won't work and you're getting complaints and this and that. And eventually your mind starts filling up with all the negative. Do I have it up? Your mind starts getting filled with the negative. It was positive, but now it's getting filled with negative. So what you need to start doing is what you did initially. How did you get positive? How did you get your initial excitement for wealth, for success? Was it by listening to success tapes, reading successful books? That's how you feed your mind. You need to take the time to change, to do something different than you have been doing. Because if what you have been doing hasn't worked, you need to stop and make a change. They say insanity, one of the different definitions of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over and expect different results. If it hasn't been working, stop and do something different. You can read positive books. There's so many videos online about wealth and abundance. There's Tony Robbins, there's T. Harv Eker. There's so many of them, people out there that are motivational that you can listen to. There's Joel Osteen, who teaches a lot about, he does it on a religious twist, but all positive messages. So start listening to videos, start maybe taking a seminar or a webinar that's positive. Read books on success, on wealth, if that's what you're working towards. If you're working towards being healthy, read books on health, on people that maybe spiritual health, different kinds of holistic type healing. Read success stories. Listen to motivational music. What happens is people start to get tired. No, I don't want to read today. So they'll watch TV, maybe a series on true crime or something action and adventure like us guys like to watch. But if you ever think of it, all it is shooting and killing and violence and drugs and all this stuff. That's what creates the action and adventure and the fighting. And what are you feeding your mind? You're feeding it so much stress and anxiety. What's coming out? The stress and anxiety, the negativity, the rowdiness. You need to start feeding it the relaxation. How about meditation? How about prayer? How about guided imagery sessions or listening to hypnosis, self-hypnosis sessions? There's so many things you can do. So from this moment, start feeding your mind positive. If you want positive, come on, to come out positive, to come out the other end, okay? Feed it positive and you'll find great results. you'll find you'll be able to attain your goals. You'll find you're going to do so much more than you ever thought you could. Give it a shot. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Oh, don't forget to subscribe and share this lesson with your friends. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Rainey here. I hope you're enjoying this Father's Day weekend mind hack marathon we're doing here. We have lots of great mind hacks. We've already shown you a lot more coming up. We'll be going till about 3. But the main reason I'm on live right now is I want to wish you all you dads out there, a happy Father's Day. And I hope whoever you fathered has contacted you and shown their appreciation. I appreciate you, and I'm sure they do too. So have a great time. Go out, treat yourself, enjoy yourself, and I will see you a little bit later on. And for those of you who are just coming in right now, please go ahead and leave a comment. It's very important you leave a comment in the comments beside this video. Why? Because it makes me happy, and I'm a father. So it's your way of saying happy Father's Day to me. So with that, let's get along with the next few mind hacks. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here. You know, I speak a lot about stress, anxiety, worry. Well, I saw a speaker last week on the internet, and he gave such a powerful but simple message about 2 questions that you can ask yourself to help eliminate stress, anxiety, and worry from your life and replace it with happiness. And this is what I wanted to speak to you about today. Think about all the stresses that we allow ourselves to be affected by on a daily basis. All the anxiety and the fear. Am I going to be able to pay my bills on time? A new job coming up. Am I going to fit in? Will I meet the expectations? Your kids going to school, first day of school. Will I make friends? Will I do okay? There's so many things there to worry about. Will I have a good relationship? Will my spouse and I or my partner and I make it? We worry about our health. How long will the health hold out? Am I getting wrinkles? Am I getting old? Okay, so there's a lot of things to worry about. So think about the things that you're worrying about, and whatever it is, ask yourself these questions. The first one goes like this. Do you have a problem in life? No? Then why worry? Okay, so that's the first one. If you don't have a problem, why worry? Number 2, do you have a problem in life? Same question, but the answer is yes. Next question, can you do something about it? Yes, then why worry? Do you have a problem in life? Yes. Can you do something about it? No? Then why worry? How simple is that? That works with just about anything. Go ahead and try it for yourself when you're worrying about something. And please, it's a simple message, so go ahead and share it with your friends so you can help them as well. Thanks for watching. Be sure to be happy and have a great day. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here, and I want to tell you what happened. Yesterday, I worked from about 6 in the morning till about 12 at night. Now, Raluca and I always have a lot of projects going on, but lately with the wedding we had over the weekend and all the planning we've been doing, we've been, I guess you kind of say, biting the bullet and just working double time to try to get everything done. So our minds have been so busy, so crazy. For those of you that know me, you realize I have 2 screens that I work on with my computer, and I must have had like 5 things open on each one at least going on at the same time, from making videos and making thumbnails and creating scripts and building programs and the new web page. Anyways, I'll talk about all that in a minute. So when I went to bed last night at midnight, I had so much in my mind, had a hard time going to sleep. Finally, I did sleep, but your mind is still working because that's what you were doing all day. And during the night, I got up a couple times and I went and I wrote notes on my whiteboard. You can see the whiteboards there. I wrote notes on a whiteboard so I could have them in the morning. And so it really wasn't a restful time. So what happened is this morning I got up, immediately came to the computer, turned it on, went through my to-do list, and looked at all these self-inflicted deadlines I gave myself, okay? Number one, I was saying I'm kicking off a new web page and a new YouTube site that I wanted to kick off and get it going today. But I realized during the middle of the night, it just wasn't ready. And this morning when I woke up, I wanted to change things. So I immediately came over here and started ripping apart some web pages, adding to this one, adding to that one. It was like, and besides that, I needed to create 3 videos today. This is one of them, okay? I needed to send out a newsletter. I needed to answer emails, go to the post office, and about 5 other things. So on top of everything that I've been doing with the lack of sleep, this is what's going on. Finally, I just said, stop. Okay, Raluca says, I haven't had coffee yet. Let's go out and get coffee. So I said, okay. So here we were. Now it was probably about 8 in the morning. So got in the car, drove over to Dunkin' Donuts. We go there every morning for coffee. Usually we just do drive-through, and that's probably about 1.5 miles from here. So we went and got the coffee, came out of the drive-through, got on the turnpike exit and headed south. She goes, where you going? I said, mandatory vacation day. I made sure when I left the house, I turned off the computer, shut everything off. We're taking a break. We need a break. When you have so much facing you, sometimes you just need to back off. So we went to New Hampshire. We went shopping at the mall down there in Newington, and then we drove down towards Danvers. It was getting to be Danvers is Massachusetts, so you can see we've been driving for a couple hours now. And I said, let's go to lunch. So we went to what was the name of the place? The Cheesecake Factory. Really cool place. Great meals. So anyways, we went to the Cheesecake Factory. Of course, we had to get a piece of cheesecake. So for those of you that know, I'm watching what I'm eating. Today was a cheat day, okay? So we went to the Cheesecake Factory for lunch. We went to Costco, did a little shopping over there, bought Raluca a laptop. We had a good day. Had another 1.5-hour drive home, spoke on the way, made some plans, and I just got home probably about 15, 20 minutes ago, little after 5 o'clock in the evening. Starting to get dark outside, and now I'm making this morning's video, okay? Sometimes you just need to back off. We had a wonderful day. You come back to the computer, everything looks different. I'm looking at my to-do list. It doesn't look as overwhelming. I'm not as stressed. What happens when you become stressed? What happens when you get in the way I was? For those of you that are familiar with brainwave states, I'm in the beta brainwave state. That's your busy state, your 5 senses, sight, sound, da, 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 da. And when you're, working and computing and all that, you get so much beta that you go into a little higher state, which is called hyper beta. Hyper beta can be very dangerous if you spend too much time there. In hyper beta, okay, that's the place of anxiety, high stress. People spend too much time in hyper beta, like I've been in the last couple of days, experience paranoia. What? No, not me. But anyways, kidding. Paranoia, insomnia, muscle tension. Oh, yes, that's when your neck gets real sore. High blood pressure, depression, and a lot of other health problems. So hyper beta can be very dangerous if you spend too much time. Now, there's a lot of different brainwave states depending on how, fast, how many cycles per second your mind's going. But you need to spend time in each one. Okay, especially the alpha, theta, beta, and delta. Okay, so depending on the different times of day. Now, if you want to know more about that, you can go in the description below and you can click on the BBSS scale and you'll see everything about the brainwave states. I got a nice chart over there created for free you can look at. So let's get back to the story. Hyper beta is not a healthy place to be. That's where you get excessive tunnel vision. And the problem is with this tunnel vision, a lot of times you can't see what's going on with you, but other people can. You just can't see, I guess you can't see the forest through the trees. And that's how I was. So I can tell you from experience, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to get sick. So when you get like that, remember your health is more important. Back off, okay? Back up, take a deep breath, and run for the hills, okay? Take a mandatory vacation day. Sometimes you have to do that. Now, yes, I'm self-employed and I can do that. So if you're not self-employed, become a hypnotherapist and you will be, and you can take a mandatory vacation day. There's a little shameless plug. But anyways, when you come back from everything, from having a good time and relaxing, you're going to realize that that mountain is just a molehill. Things are going to look easier. They're going to look different. This video came out a lot easier. This morning, I didn't even know what to make a video on. So my experience was something that I wanted to share with you. So relax, have a great day, and I need to get back to work now. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here. And today I want to speak to you about helping your children to make the right choices. Let's say you want your child to drink their milk. And usually when you give them some milk, they go, no, I don't want to drink it. Try this next time. Before you give them their milk, say, would you like to have your milk in a red cup or a blue cup? Now they're going to choose which cup they want to have their milk in. Therefore, they're going to drink their milk. Now, the whole concept behind this is a covert technique called the open-ended double-blind question. Okay, you're giving them two choices of something that would both benefit you. Would you like the blue one or the red one? Whichever one they choose, you win because they're going to drink it. Now, this type of open-ended question is used in sales constantly. I'll give you an example. If you're trying to close a deal on someone, just ask them something like, and would you like to pay that with your credit card or with cash? Whichever one they choose, they're buying it. So basically you're neglecting the sale, whether they're going to get it or not. You're asking them how they're going to pay for it. How about if you're trying to sell something and you're not sure if they want it at all, so you say, would you like the big piece or the small piece? You're giving them a choice of two things. Whichever one they choose, you win. So go ahead and try that with someone you know, whether your child with the milk or with pretty much anything you'd like someone to do. Just give them two positive choices that would be to your benefit. If you'd like to learn more covert techniques about the mind, things you can do with your children and with others, be sure to look at our covert hypnosis course. I'll have the link in the description below. Thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here, and in today's video I'm going to show you two verbal mind tricks. Matter of fact, I'm going to do them with you first, and then I'd like you to try them with your friends and let me know in the comments below how it worked out for you and them. So here we go. I want you to answer my questions as quickly as you can, okay? Don't even think about it. Just go ahead and answer me. Answer this question. What is 1 plus 1? What's 2 plus 2? What's 4 plus 4? What's 8 plus 8? Name a vegetable. Okay, chances are the majority of the people will say the word carrot. If that's what you chose, let me know below. So let's go ahead and do one more before you go. Okay, for this one, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and I want you to answer them as quickly as you can. Ready? What does the word S-H-O-P spell? What do you do at a green light? Okay, just in case you said stop, at a green light, you go. So if you said stop, let me know in the comments below. These are some fun mind tricks you can do with your friends. What did I do? I simply primed your mind before I hit you with the trick question. And because your mind was primed, it gave you a certain line of thinking that was maybe a little bit out of your control. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. And again, let me know how you did. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here. I'm going to show you something fun that you can try with your friends, but go ahead and do it with me right now. It'll just take a few seconds, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to stare directly into my eyes when I ask you a question. Continue to stare in my eyes even when you're answering, okay? So go ahead and stare right in my eyes. Don't look anywhere else. What did you have for lunch 2 days ago? Keep staring in my eyes. Okay, you can stop staring now and you'll probably remember what you had for lunch. Now, if you're like most people, you weren't able to remember what you had for lunch 2 days ago. The reason being, especially if you know anything about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is the I cues. You'll notice that whenever anyone tries to remember something, they usually look up and to the left. Okay, so when I say now, what did you have for dinner yesterday? Chances are you went like this to think about it. Then you came and told me the answer. Go ahead and try it with your friends. See how they do. Have them look directly in your eyes and ask them a question of something they're going to have to remember. And let me know in the comments below how you did and how it worked out on your friends. To learn more about things having to do with the mind and hypnosis, you can go in the description below and download our free manual. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here. Recently I heard the story of a man walking along a beach in California. As he was walking down the beach, God suddenly popped out in front of him and he said, "You've been such a loyal follower that I'd love to give you one wish, anything you want." Man thought about it and he says, "I'd really like to visit Hawaii. I always wanted to go there, but I'm afraid of flying, so I can't go there by plane, and I can't go there by ship because I'm afraid of the water. I'd like you to build me a bridge from San Francisco to Hawaii so I could drive over." And God said, "Wow, can you imagine the logistics of doing that? Is there anything else you'd like?" The man says, "Well, I've been married and divorced 3 times, and all 3 of my wives call me an inconsiderate slob. Can you imagine that? I wonder why they think that. You know what I'd like? I'd like you to explain to me why women think the way they do." God pondered for a while and he says, "So do you want 2 lanes or 3 lanes on that bridge? What do you want? And what can you do to create a happier life?" What's the first thing that comes to your mind, or what do you focus on when something bad happens? Do you go, "Oh, woe is me," or do you try to find the good in it? Remember, the subconscious mind will always attract what you focus on. So, do you focus on poverty, anger, or sickness? It's so easy to do this because the media today focuses on catastrophes. Everything you see online, on television, the more controversial or shocking it is, the better. How does that affect you? We focus on the negative parts, but the subconscious mind doesn't understand negative. So when you're focusing on something negative, you're focusing on the general thing. So when you say, "I don't want to be sick," you're focusing on being sick. When you say, "I don't want a divorce," what are you focusing on? Getting a divorce. Or, "I don't want my business to go under," you're focusing on going under. So what is it do you want? You want health, you want great relationships, and you want a successful business. That's what you need to focus on. It's amazing how the more we know about the world, the more that we're opened up with all the social media and everything around us, the more stressed we get. Just recently I watched a documentary and it was about pygmies in the African Congo. It was a very interesting documentary. Now, these people are kind of hidden. No one, they haven't really had a lot of association with the outside. So this one man kind of went on a safari to go out there and to meet them and spend some time with them. And what he found when he was there, obviously they had no TV, no cell phones, no internet, no fake news, being slung all around the place for them to wonder what's true and what's not true. But he also found that these people were very tight knit village where there was also no fighting, no disputes. He didn't see anyone arguing about anything. He said they danced for everything. If they did have a conflict, they got together and danced about it. They danced for happiness. They danced for sadness. They danced before they went out on a hunting party. They danced when someone became of age to be a man or a woman. They danced to have more food. They danced to have better weather. They danced to be thankful. They said they danced for everything rather than punishing people and yelling at people and having judges. They danced about it. So just looking at them, they looked like very happy people. But they didn't know all the stuff that was going on in the world. They focused on contributing to the group. They focused on happiness and they focused on the present moment, the now. The future and the past didn't matter. All that mattered was now. They were very happy. Is it because they didn't know any better? Or could they possibly know something that we don't know? It makes you wonder if technology is the best thing for us or not. What do you focus on and how does it affect you? Is it time to change your focus? From now on, whenever you're thinking negatively or what you don't want, stop. Just stop and ask yourself, what do I want? Get in the habit of thinking of what you want and focusing on that. And you're going to find a big difference in your life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And please share this with your friends because the bigger we grow, the more people we have that can contribute in letting us know what you'd like to see. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here. And this morning, I was in Walmart and I was looking for a present for someone's birthday. And what I did was I went up to this kiosk. This is what I was looking for was a gift card. And they have a kiosk with gift cards from all different kind of restaurants. And there was one place in particular I wanted to get a gift card for because I know this person really likes this restaurant. So I'm looking through the cards and I can't find it. So some lady comes over and one of the workers and says, "Can I help you?" I says, "Yeah, I'm looking for a specific gift card, and I know that most stores have it, but I just can't remember the name of the place." And she starts laughing. She goes, "Well, tell me about it." I says, "Well, it's a restaurant." It says here in Biddeford, which is the city I live in. I said, "Matter of fact, it's at the Biddeford Crossing Mall just up the street." And I says it's in the same parking lot as the Olive Garden, but I just can't remember the name of it. Total blank, amnesia. I've been to this place probably I go maybe once every 3 weeks, so I'm familiar with it. I drive by it quite often, and I see they have Dunkin' Donuts, they have Starbucks, they have everything here, but I just can't seem to find that one. I said for some reason it's drawing a blank. So she says, "Well, I can't think of where that is." So I described this as well. When you go into the mall, just before the Rotary, take a left, and there's a parking lot on the right. And it says Michael's is on the left, and it's the exact opposite. It's just the other corner of that little complex right there. I didn't know there was a restaurant there. Oh, this isn't helping. So we're going back and forth, back and forth. And she said, "Well, what do they have? I said, well, they have breakfast sandwiches. They make their own bread. They have lunch, soups. It's a nice place, kind of like Tim Hortons. She goes, oh, it's Canadian. I go, no, that's Tim Hortons. So, I mean, it was like Abbott and Costello routine going back and forth. So I said, well, I'm going to go get a birthday card. And while I'm there, I'll try to think of it. And I said, see what happens. She goes, well, if you think of what it is, let me know. I want to find out too. So I went over to get the birthday cards and I started thinking, what's going on here? Why am I having amnesia? Then I started examining my self-talk. I just can't remember, I told her. I can't remember the name of this restaurant. So what am I telling my subconscious mind? I can't remember. I can't remember. So that little 5-year-old genie in my mind says, make it so. I caused self-amnesia. See how easy it is to do that? Realizing that, as I was looking for the cards, I took a deep breath and I said, I can remember. I can remember. I do know what this restaurant is. It's easy to remember the restaurant. Bing, Panera's. Panera Bread is the name of it. And this person loves Panera. She says she goes there all the time. So I'm all proud of myself. I still walking back to the kiosk and the lady's still there. I go, the name of the place is Panera. She goes, oh, I've never been there. Okay. But the point is, when you have these momentary blocks, okay, in my case, instant amnesia, usually it's because you may have stopped it yourself by your self-talk, or you get so worked up, in the case I was also, that you shut off your connection to your short-term memory, which is the alpha brainwave state. Because when you're agitated, you're completely busy in this busy beta awake state. And it's hard to see the alpha state, which is where all your memories are. It's kind of like all your memories are right there in the other room. And all you have to do is look and there they are. When you're relaxed, you can do that. But when you're agitated, it's like a wall went up and there's a door and the door is closed to all your memories. So you're just like, especially when you start saying, I can't remember this. And if you don't think your mind will give you what you grant, try that and you'll see. When you say you can't remember, it goes, okay, you can't remember, so it'll help you. So that's how I experienced total amnesia this morning. Wanted to let you know, and now you know how to change it if it happens to you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye. Hi there, Rainy Bastarash here with another decision-making mind hack. Just recently we had a video where I showed you how to use a coin to make a decision. Well, here's another one. When you have a decision to make, you might not always have a coin, or you might not want to flip a coin someplace in the middle of a store or something. But when you have a decision to make, let's say you're in a store, you want to purchase something, but you're not sure. Here's what I do. Ask yourself this question. Is it a resounding yes? So, matter of fact, I was in, where was it? I was in Walmart last week, and I had some tools. I believe I had a scroll saw in my carriage, and I said, oh, it was a good deal, and I should really get this. And I'm walking around the store, and I had that, should I get it? And I'm looking down at it saying, I already have a scroll saw. Do I really need another? So then I asked myself, is it a resounding yes? No, it wasn't. It was kind of like So I took it, put it back on the shelf, started walking, and I felt good about my decision of putting it away. Because sometimes we want to buy something because it's a deal, because it's a special. You get that sales mentality, that excitement, that initial, I gotta have it, but it's not a good decision. You just have to have it because the dollar signs are saying, oh, I can save so much money. So ask yourself that. Is it a resounding yes? If it's not a resounding yes, put it back. Decide not to do whatever it was, because you should feel good about your decisions. Your emotions are what make the proper decisions, what make the subconscious decisions. So if you feel good about it, it's a yes. If it's not a resounding yes, then you shouldn't be doing it. Go ahead and try it. Share this with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here. Have you ever had a hard time making a decision? Maybe teetering between should I do it, shouldn't I do it, should I go here, shouldn't I? Well, here's a technique that I use with clients and for myself quite often that works really well. Matter of fact, it works with your subconscious mind because as you know, your subconscious is connected to the universal consciousness, so it has all the answers. We just don't know how to access it or listen to it. So rather than making a conscious decision, a limited decision, here's a way to make a subconscious division. So I want you to think of something. We're going to do it right now. I'm going to do it with you. I want you to think of something right now that you've been trying to make a decision on. Something that could have a yes or no answer. That's very important. Like, should I go to Disney on vacation this year with my family? Yes or no. Do I really need to buy that new car? Okay. It's a yes or no question. Or should I purchase that new hypnosis certification course with the American School of Hypnosis? That's a yes or yes question. Oops, yes or no question. Okay, so it's important that it's a yes or no answer, and you need to make a decision right now that whatever the answer is that you find as a result of this, I guess you could say demonstration, that you commit to following it. That's a really important part of this. You need to commit to following the outcome. That's vital. So here's how we do it. We have a very intricate piece of equipment we use. It's called a coin. Okay, you can do it with a quarter. For some reason, I couldn't find a quarter in a house. In today's day and age of credit cards and online banking, to find a coin is hard. So I went into a bank and I actually found a British coin. Okay, notice how it's not even round. But anyway, it's kind of a cool coin. So I'm going to use this one. Here's the way it works. I want you to think of the question that you have right now, because this will work for as many people that are doing it all at once. Think of the question that you have, and I'm going to flip this coin, and if it comes down and lands on heads, the answer is yes to your question. If it lands on tails, your answer is no. Very important. So you ready? Think of the question. Here we go. Whoa. The answer is heads. The answer is yes. See, just so you know, I didn't cheat. There it is right there. The answer is yes. So think of your question. Your answer is yes. And very important now, this is the second part of the decision-making process. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about the yes answer? Do you feel good about it? For those of you that feel good about your answer, that's it. Go on and do it. Your subconscious mind gave you the answer. But how about for those of you that feel bad? If you feel negative about your answer, if there's a stupor thought, you just don't feel good about it, then guess what? Turn the coin over to tails. Your answer is no. How do you feel about that? If you feel good about the no answer, then that's your answer. Wow, wait a minute, I swapped the coin over. The coin doesn't matter. The coin is just a tool to get you to make a decision. You see, the subconscious works according to feelings. As you know, the subconscious mind, in the subconscious, there is no such thing as negative. That's a conscious thing. The subconscious and even the universal consciousness only is inclusive, only is positive. So if you have a positive feeling, that's a subconscious answer. If you have a negative feeling, negative is not of the subconscious, that's of the conscious mind. So if you have a negative feeling, flip the coin over because it doesn't matter because the coin is just chance. It's how you feel. So the main thing to keep in mind is that your decision-making mechanism is your emotions, your feelings. How do you feel about it? If you feel good with the answer is yes. If you feel bad, do the opposite, flip it over the other side, and that's your answer. You need to feel good. Like I said, the coin is irrelevant. It's just a tool to make you make a decision. Now, you had never done this before, so I told you whatever the decision is, you need to follow through with it. So this way, you're not changing your mind. But once you saw that you felt bad and you could change it, wasn't that so much better? Kind of like if I told you, should you buy this hypnosis certification course and it said no, oh, you'd be so depressed. Flip it over. Yes, you should buy it. Oh, I feel great. Then you go out and make that decision. So I'll expect a lot of sales here shortly. So I hope you enjoyed it. Try it with your friends. Share this with your friends and see how they do. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe below and have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here. Are you too busy earning a living to make any money? I was speaking about this recently, and someone asked me if I could possibly explain what I mean by that in a video. So here we are. What I mean by being too busy to earn a living, what happens when you're too busy? A lot of people work really hard. They come into work and they try to do as much as they can. They leave work and they're planning for work the next day, and they get in this routine with this cycle, kind of like a hamster on one of those little hamster wheels going round and round and round. And they're really too busy living their life to plan their life. It's kind of like you have your mind focused so much on this, on what you're doing, the task at hand, that everything outside seems to fade away. So what happens when you're doing that? When you're focused on something so much that everything fades out and you're trying to get everything done, you become stressed because you're trying to beat the clock. You're trying to get more and more done. I need to make more money. I need this. I need that. And of course, that all causes stress. One of the bigger areas of stress is worrying about how the future is going to be. Will I have enough? Will I make it? How can I get more? And what happens when you become stressed is you shut off your original thinking. So yes, stress is the opposite of original thinking. And if you think of it, when you become stressed, which about 80% of your time, people live in a state of stress. I've done a lot of videos on this in the past. So when you become stressed, not only do you shut off your original thinking, which is the forebrain, okay, you also shut down your immune system, so you're not as healthy. Now, when you're not using your original thinking, you're using, I guess you could say, your rote thinking. When something happens and you're trying to figure something out, you go according to your habits, your knowledge, everything that's happened to you, you associate with that, and you make your decisions according to your past, your experiences. So you're not making original decisions. So you become so busy doing things that you don't have time to plan. You're running in circles. In fact, when I get that busy, all I can think of is a saying that my mother always says to me. She goes, "You need to take the time to smell the roses." I get so irritated when I hear that because I know she's right. You need to take the time to smell the roses. So how can you take the time out from your busy schedule? Well, in order to make more money, in order to do more in life, to, I guess you could say, become more than you are, you need to slow down. Think of that. It's almost like an oxymoron, right? You need to slow down to move ahead. You need to plan. If you have a plan to follow, you can do so much more. But when you're running, just by, I guess you on automation, kind of like the hamster on the wheel, you just keep on doing the same thing day after day after day. So you're going to accomplish the same thing today as yesterday. So how are you going to do something new? So you need to take the time to relax, because as soon as you relax, eliminate the stress, your frontal lobe opens up, your original thinking, which, like I said, you do that so very little in the span of your lifetime. So why not understand it and take the time to open it up more to be able to use it? So how do you do that? How do you open up the frontal lobe? Through meditation is one way. And I'm not going to teach you how to meditate. A lot of people, as soon as I said that, oh, meditate, I don't have the time for that. But there's other ways of doing it. Through contemplation, just sitting somewhere and relaxing for a while. One of my favorite things is to go out on my deck where I have a garden, and I just sit there and watch the birds feeding and look at the plants and spend some time in nature. By doing that, it doesn't have to be a long time, just maybe 10 or 15 minutes a day. You'd be amazed at the ideas that'll come to mind. How about exercising? Now, when I say exercising, I'm talking about the monotonous types of exercising, such as walking, uh, jogging, if you could jog slow for a long period of time, walking on a treadmill instead of walking outside if you like, rowing. Rowing is a nice monotonous type thing. So anything where you can exercise and not have to concentrate a lot on what you're doing, where you can allow your mind to roam free. I do a lot of my best thinking, original thinking, when I drive as well. Now, I'm not driving from here to the store because there's too much traffic here in town. But if I'm driving to a neighboring town, or a lot of times I'll go to Augusta, which is about an hour and a half ride from here. So Luca and I will take the morning and we'll go up there and have lunch up there. But while we're driving, it's monotonous on the highway because it's one highway all the way up there, and it gives us time to speak. I call it our business meeting. We do that quite often. We'll go on long rides and discuss different things that we have to work on. We've come up with some of our best programs just driving long distances like that. The nice thing about that is, yeah, it's kind of a monotonous ride, but there's not a lot of interruptions from the telephone, somebody at the door, or I got to work on this project, because it keeps you there. And when you become bored, your mind roams and opens up a little bit more. So think about that. Think about things that you can do to relax. In your busy day, can you find 15 minutes just to stop and relax? Maybe think of nothing. Maybe listen to very relaxing music, not music with a lot of lyrics. Maybe something soothing, yoga or meditation type music, or hypnosis type music. Find time that you can sit back, relax, contemplate, or meditate each day, and you'll be able to come up with ideas of how to move ahead. So, like I said at the beginning, lots of people are too busy earning a living to make any money. Now you know what I'm talking about and how to remedy that. So relax, back up, take some time for yourself, and go out and make some money. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and have a great day. Hi, everyone. Rainy Bastarash here with a 30-second mind confusion exercise. Before we get started, I want you to do a sample run to get your mind warmed up. Here we go. What I'd like you to do is I want you to say the colors that you see as quickly as you can out loud, but don't read the word. I'll do first for you. So it would be black, 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 blue, 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 blue. So do that as quickly as you can. Don't read the words, just say the colors. Ready? Go. Great. So now you're all warmed up. Your tongue is moving. We're going to do the real test. And what I'd like you to do this time, when I show the test on the screen, as soon as it goes on one more time, I'd like you to say the colors you see as quickly as you can out loud, but don't read the words. And the trick is, I want you to try to do it as quickly as you just did it with the black and blue ones. Are you ready? Go. So, how'd you do? Let me know in the comments below how you did so you can compare with everyone else. This is a mind teaser that's called the Stroop effect. The reason it messes with your mind is it's a left brain, right brain conflict. Your left brain, which is the conscious mind, wants to read the words. It's very analytical. Your right brain, which is the subconscious mind, wants to see the colors. It's very artistic. So when you do it out loud, you're having a little battle, a little conflict between your left brain and your right brain. I have so much fun sharing this with people, in fact, that I've even put it on the back of my business cards. So when I give someone a business card, I want to make sure they keep it. So I say, hey, before you went off, I'd like you to try this little test. I give it to them, tell them what to do. It's hysterical. They'll keep laughing. And you know what else they'll keep? Your business card. Great thing. So I hope you enjoyed the exercise. And please go ahead and share it with your friends so you can see how they did. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Hi, everyone. I'd like to welcome you once again to our Father's Day live streaming. What is this? It is Mind Hack. Mind Hack Day. I hope you're enjoying it. And for those of you that are celebrating Father's Day today, I'd like to wish you a very happy Father's Day and hopefully you have a really good one. So with that, before I go, remember we do have a free hypnosis manual for you, 446 pages. It's the same curriculum that we use to teach our students in class. So if you would like a free complete manual so you can learn hypnosis right now, there's a link in the description below this video where you can download it. And with that, while you're down there, look around at our online store and the other courses. We have over 100 script manuals and courses and all kinds of great things for you to look at. So if you have some time this Father's Day weekend, you can start a course. So with that, I'm going to get going back with the show for you. And by the way, let us know who you are and where you're from. We like to see who's the furthest away, at least further than Raluca, who's about 30 feet away. So let's see who wins. Bye-bye. Hi, Rainy Bastarash here, and today I'd like to speak to you about how to program your mind while you're sleeping. Did you know that your subconscious mind is always on all the time? Even when you're sleeping consciously, your subconscious mind is still recording what's going on. So, knowing that, why not take advantage of it to program yourself? Now, there's lots of ways you can do it. You can listen to hypnosis CDs, guided imagery CDs, whatever kind of guided meditation, positive suggestions you have while you're sleeping. But just as a word of warning, now that you know your subconscious mind is always on all the time, it's very important when you go to bed at night not to go to bed listening to your television or your radio stations. Because unfortunately, as you know, television and radio both have commercials going on. A lot of these commercials today, especially with the pharmaceutical ads and the medical ads, are very negative, and they can actually cause you negativity while you're sleeping, because those suggestions, like I say, in these commercials are going right to your subconscious mind. So if you want to listen to something, if you want to program yourself while you're sleeping, do it with CDs, MP3s, hypnosis sessions, guided imagery, affirmations, whatever you like. In fact, every night when I go to sleep, I actually listen to an MP3 I made myself, and you can do that yourself also. Now, the MP3 I created is an hour long, and I have 4 of them. I made one for health, for wealth, for relationships, and for just general happiness. So let's say I'm listening to my wealth one tonight. It starts out with a body scan, or what I call just a relaxation from head to toe to help me to get to sleep faster. And it goes into just a general relaxation. Now, with this, it lasts about maybe 10 minutes, this beginning part. It helps me if I have insomnia, if I'm having an agitated day, to be able to get to sleep quicker. And then once I fall asleep, positive suggestions are coming through the MP3. So I'm having these suggestions going right to my subconscious mind for the remaining of the hour. Now, I only play it for an hour. You don't have to put it on repeat. And at the end of the session, you just stay asleep, and hopefully your machine will just turn off by itself. But this is a great way to program yourself while you're sleeping, because while you're sleeping, the conscious mind is sleeping, but the subconscious is on. But the conscious mind is the one that's rebellious. It's the one that resists suggestion. It's the one that you're trying to get around for the subconscious mind to accept the suggestions. That's where all changes are made. So see how great that is? Sleep hypnosis or sleep conditioning MP3s or CDs that you make for yourself while you're sleeping are very powerful. So if you have any positive affirmations or suggestions, or something you could even read to yourself on an audio recorder, go ahead and play it back to yourself next time you go to sleep. Condition yourself to be the person you want to be. Why not? While you're sleeping, do you have anything else to do? Thanks for listening, and have a wonderful day. Hi, Rainy Bastarash here, and today I'd like to speak to you about how true exploitation begins with you. What resources or traits do you have that you can exploit in order to advance your life personally or professionally. Think about it. There's many resources available to us, especially out there on the internet today. But what resources do you have access to personally? What resources do you have access to that you're possibly not using right now? Take some time to make a self-assessment and write down everything that you would consider a resource about yourself. Michael Phelps, for instance, was an excellent swimmer. So by exploiting his ability in swimming throughout his career, he was able to win 28 medals, and 23 of which were gold medals. Singer and songwriter Stevie Wonder was blind, so he exploited his sense of hearing into a passion for music. He excelled so much in music that he now has 25 Grammy Awards to show for it. So what resources do you have available to you? Do you excel in management, maybe sports, public speaking? Do you have a silver tongue and maybe you're told that you can talk anybody into doing anything? Do you like to sing, dance, or act? Do you have a natural ability to deal with children or animals? Do you have a knack for painting or sculpting? Maybe you have a mind for numbers or history. Do you have a green thumb? Okay. These are all spectacular personal resources. Take some time to think about it. Think about yours. Everyone has something that they're good at. I have a talent and a passion for marketing, for teaching, and helping people to understand their mind. As a result of that, I've been able to exploit my own talents and create several lucrative businesses online, writing over 35 books and creating over 20 courses. Exploiting my own personal talents have allowed me to be self-employed for over 35 years and thereby developing the lifestyle that I've always wanted to have. I find it amazing how so many talented people will spend thousands of dollars on receiving spectacular college degrees and then go to work for someone else. Then the employer is able to exploit these talents for their own personal or business gain, getting wealthy in the process. You see this in the areas of mathematics, science, finance, and the list is endless. So many people with these great resources available to them who decide to allow other people to exploit it rather than exploiting it themselves. I'm not saying that everyone should be self-employed and quit working, but why should you give everything away that you own when you can use some of it for yourself? Just remember the slogan, exploitation begins with you. Find what resources or talents that you have and begin exploiting them in order to advance your own life. Thanks for listening. And if you'd like to help me with exploitation, please share this message with your friends. The more people that know about it, the more messages that we can continue to share with you. See you next time and have a great day. Hi, Rainey Bastoresh here, and today's lesson is on how to eliminate fear now with the cartoon or the sports technique that I'm going to show you both of them. Now, what kind of fear am I talking about? Fear of the boss, fear of bullies, fear of your ex-spouse. Okay, that's one of the bigger ones. Children, meetings, public speaking, etc. But we're going to talk about fear of the ex-spouse because that's something that I get a lot in counseling. People coming up, divorced couples who have to pick up and drop off children, and there's so much anxiety. So I'll use this as an example, but you'll see how this can work with virtually anything. So here's how it works. Now, how many of you have seen the movie The Waterboy with Adam Sandler? Okay, if you haven't seen it, it's a great movie to look at. But in the movie, there's a scene where Henry Winkler, who's actually the coach of a football team and a friend of Adam Sandler, and Henry is very afraid, deathly afraid of the coach on the other side. And he can't face him. He gets really nervous and really shaky and messes up all his plays, and of course it affects his team. So he speaks to Adam in the movie. Of course, that's not, Adam's name isn't Adam, but he speaks to Adam in the movie saying, I'm so afraid. He says, I can't deal with the coach. I can't even look him straight in the eyes because of this and that. And what Adam told him, he says, from now on, whenever you look at him, when you see him on the other side of the field, imagine him with a baby's head, a baby's face on there. I actually told him to imagine him as something that was very unintimidating. And so Henry looked at him. He saw this big baby's head. So it was a coach with a head like an oversized baby's face, real cute face. And eventually the coach is going, Gucci, Gucci, goo, as he's looking at this person that he's normally scared of. And he got this newfound confidence and was able to coach his game to victory. So that's in a nutshell what we're going to be doing. But we're going to be using cartoons. What I want you to do is think about the scene that causes you fear. So let's say it's a husband going to pick up his kid for the weekend. So he tells me, well, the situation is I usually pull into the driveway and she comes walking out with my daughter and my son, and comes walking up to the car, and she comes out screaming and yelling at me before I even get out of the car for all these different things. She wants money. She wants this. I better get him here in time. You better get him a bath before they, and on and on and on of all the different things that he has to do. And he hasn't even gotten out of his car. So, and you can see, the person's sweating. He's getting upset as he's talking to me. So what I tell him is, okay, I want you to think of that scenario. And I want you to replace the characters, you, the children, your ex-wife, whoever it is, with your favorite cartoon characters. And I want you to recite the same situation or scenario that you told me. Recite it to me again, but as if they're all cartoon characters. So he says, okay, I pull into the driveway with my little Acme mobile, with the little crank wind up on the back. He says, and it stopped, and you hear all the boom, 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 all the backfires and explosions, and the car stops. And no sooner than I stop, the door flings open of the house, and out comes a Tasmanian devil, spinning and spinning and yelling and swearing, and it stops, and all these fumes coming out of her mouth as she's talking. And so he's saying that, and I walk up to her, and I take the Acme TNT. You ever seen it says Acme? Put it in her mouth, boom. And you see a little smoke coming out of her ears. But it doesn't hurt her because in cartoons, and no one ever gets hurt, right? And he takes the kids away, and he drives off into the sunset, and it's a wonderful situation. Now, as he's explaining all this to me, you look at his face, and he's kind of laughing, he's kind of chuckling, and you see the wrinkles coming out of his face from the stress and the tension, and you see him relaxing and just kind of sitting back. Now, what did he do? He reframed the situation. He changed it from something that caused a lot of stress to something that was actually funny, to something that he's used to seeing with his kids on Saturday morning, cartoons. So now every time he comes back to the situation, when he goes to pick up the kids the next weekend or drop them off, and she comes flying out of the house, he's not going to be scared and intimidated like he was. He's probably going to be smiling and laughing because he sees the Tasmanian devil coming out, because he sees the little Acme car with the wind up in the back of the thing, in the back on the trunk. So everything looks differently. So that's the cartoon method. Just take the situation and just retell the situation, reframe it as if it was your favorite cartoon. Use your imagination and try to see it as much as you can as you're doing it. Now, you might not be into cartoons. So the other technique we said is the sports technique. So imagine you're a sportscaster, and you and the person you're having difficulty with, or the person that's causing you the fear, whether it be your ex-spouse or your boss or some bully or public speaking, whatever the situation is, okay, it's two teams, two sports teams. It could be football, it could be soccer, it could be baseball. So for this situation, let's say it's American football. So the team comes on the field, your team and their team. Now, what you're doing is you're giving a play-by-play of what's happening as if you're the newscaster or the sportscaster on the radio. If any of you have ever seen Howard Cosell talking about a sports game, he has that accent like this. And he says, hey, he comes on the field, and she's screaming and yelling at him. And there he is trembling at the 1 yard mark. And he comes up one more yard, and she starts chasing him. He's got the ball, and he's running, and he runs. Touchdown! You can make it like that if you want. But as you're doing it, you're reframing it again. You're taking something very stressful and putting it into something that you like. Football, baseball. And you're making it something that's not stressful. You might even win the game, which would be a big plus. So go ahead and reframe your situation with sports, with cartoons, or you could even do it with anything else you like. And when you go back to the situation, you're going to see how much of the stress, much of the fear has been alleviated. So give it a shot. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Hi, Rainy Bastarash here. This exercise is called I Have Something Nice to Say About Everyone. It's amazing how many times we see someone and we just automatically say negative things. You just might not like them. But what you're doing is you're attracting negativity. No one wants to be around someone negative. So in this exercise, you're going to say something nice about everyone you meet. Now, if you're alone, you don't have to say it out loud, but at least say it to yourself. Something nice about everyone you meet. Think about that. How can you find something nice to say about everyone? Well, I have a list here that I'm going to go through, and it's a list of positives. Actually, it's quite a long list, but I'm just going to go through a few of them just to give you an idea. It doesn't have to be something that's really great, just something nice, okay? The person is accepting, able, these are the A's, accurate, adaptive, adventurous, affectionate. That person's alert, okay? They're alert. How about ambitious, artistic, assertive, appreciative, athletic, attentive, attractive? And that's just in the A's. I'll do a few more to give you some more idea. Let's go with the B's. Beautiful, brave, bright, broad-minded. C, he's calm, he's capable, he's careful, caring, cautious, charming, cheerful, childlike, clear thinking, clever, committed. There's a lot of C's. Common sense. The person is compassionate, competent, confident, conscientious, considerate, content, cool, cooperative, courageous, courteous, creative, and curious. Okay, so I can go through all of them. You can go on and on and on. So you can see there's enough words in the English dictionary or any dictionary to find something positive to say about someone. The other day I saw some guy and it wasn't too nuts about him. And I looked and I said, he's fit. Okay, he's fit. He was in good shape. That's great. He's got a nice hat. I like his hat. So by saying something positive, you're attracting positive to you. And guess what? The people are probably going to like you because they can feel something positive coming from you, even if it's somebody you wouldn't normally get along with. So give it a shot, make your positive list, start using it with everyone you see, and have a great day. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here, and today I'm going to teach you my perfect memory hack. In this hack, I'm going to show you how to memorize, in this one, up to 24 items in any order in just minutes. Now, this hack can be used to memorize an awful lot more than 24. In fact, I once used it to help a high school student to memorize 200 definitions on government. And by the time we finished, it took me about 2 hours to go through the entire exercise for 200 items. But by the time we finished, she was able to recall all 200 items in order, forwards, backwards, and even sporadically. If I said, what was number 57, she'd tell me. What was number 123, she'd be able to tell me. So, I mean, it's a really amazing technique. So I'd like you to try it with me right now. We're going to memorize just 10 items at random because we're limited for time. And I want to show you how it works, how easy it will work for even you. And you'll be able to know these afterwards, forwards and backwards. Now, just so you know, if you want to remember a lot more, if you want to memorize a lot more items, there are other techniques you can use because we're going to be using the alphabet, which I'm going to use the first 10 letters, so A to J. But if you use all 24 letters, again, you have 24 items, or there's other ways of getting these standard points. That's what I'm using the alphabet for, so you can get as many items as you like. Now, the reason I'm using the alphabet, it's like creating file folders in your head. So just like a file cabinet, I'm going to show you how to file different things. So this is a great mind hack. Now, we use the alphabet because you know that. You can use numbers because you know the numbers. There are things that are always there that you'll remember without having to think too hard. You can use items in your house. Choose 5 items from each room in your house. So if you have 10 rooms, there's 50 file folders or 50 reference points you can use to memorize 50 different definitions. So you can use whatever you like. Before we go too far with this exercise, I'm going to give you all 10 items right now, and I want you to try to memorize them without using this exercise at all, because I want to have a point of reference at the end. So I'm going to give you all 10 definitions, and then I'm going to test you on them to see how many you can remember without using this exercise, because you may get 4 or 5 of them now, And if you get 10 of them later, you'll see there's a big difference. Or some people only get 2 of them at the beginning, and they might remember 8 at the end. So I just want to do this as a point of reference. So I'm going to tell them to you, then I'm going to have you write it down the second time. So here we go. The first one is teddy bear. Number 2 is desk. Number 3, microphone. 4, water bottle. 5, office chair. 6 is orange juice. 7, stapler. 8, trash can. 9 is computer. And 10 is pencil. Now get your piece of paper. I want you to write them down as I give you the numbers. I want to see how many you remember in what order. And I'll give you the order of the answers at the end so you can compare with both exercises, okay? So what's your first one? Don't worry if you don't get many right, because this is without doing the exercise. What was number 1? Write it down. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5, getting a little tougher. Number 6, don't worry if you don't remember them, or if you do, that's great. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. And number 10. So look at what you did. If you want, you could put 40%, 20%, 100%, but put that paper somewhere else for this next exercise. Okay, as I'm doing the exercise, because I don't want you to look at the answers. So put it upside down, be honest, so you don't see them, and get a different piece of paper for when I test you after the exercise. I don't want you to look at this, and so it doesn't taint your answers. And when you're all done, you can compare both, just trying to memorize it when I gave them to you and after the exercise to see how you did. Okay, let's move on. So here's how it's going to work. Think of A through J. We're going to start with the letter A, and what I want you to do is I want you to think of an animal that starts with the letter A. I mean, I could tell you one, but I want you to try to think of it on your own. If you can't think of it, I'll give you an idea in a minute. But think of an animal, first one that comes to mind, with the letter A. Okay, if you haven't thought of one, alligator, so I should have said animal, amphibian, so any kind of live, moving, squiggly, heart-beating thing. Okay, the letter B. What's an animal that starts with the letter B? That should be a simple one, so I'm not going to just tell you mine, so that way, if you do it on your own, rather than me telling you, it's going to come to your memory a lot easier later on. Now, these aren't the things we're memorizing. These are just the file folders we're setting up. Think of an animal that starts with the letter C. The letter D. Now, when you're doing these with someone else, you could even write these down so you remember as you go back through the list. You might even want to write them down for yourself. The letter E. That's still a pretty easy one. An animal that starts with the letter E. An animal that starts with the letter F. Think of an animal that starts with the letter G. That's still a pretty easy one, okay. One that starts with the letter H. An animal or a squiggly thing that starts with the letter I. And one that starts with the letter J. That might be a little bit more difficult one, but think of it, the letter J. Now, if you don't get them all right away, you can listen to this video and try it again later on, but I'm going to move on just so we can, keep up with the exercise. What I want to do is I want to go through them. Don't look at your paper if you wrote it down. I want to go through them. I'm going to say the letter and you tell me the animal, okay? What was the one you chose for the letter A? The letter B. The letter C. They should be coming to you quicker and quicker. The letter D. E. F. G. What animal started with the letter H? I. And J. Now, if you got all 10 of those a second time, you've set up your file folders, okay? You have that in there, and that's what you need to be able to memorize other things. Now, I'm going to just use 10 things, but these file folders you're using right now, you can memorize 10 things today, 10 different things tomorrow, 10 different things as often as you like using the same file folders, okay? So we're going to do it just with these. Now, I'm going to come up with 10 things at random, and as I say each thing that I want you to memorize, what I want you to do is I want you to make a sentence or make a picture of the animal for that letter and the item I'm giving you, okay? So let me use an example not on this list so I don't mess you up. Let's choose the letter S as an example. So S, I would think snake. So that's my file folder. And let's say the word I wanted to use was magic marker. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, magic marker. So how do I memorize the word magic marker using the letter S? I could say something like, a snake was slithering on my desk. He came right beside my magic marker, and he looked at it and said, hey, why are you so stiff? Loosen up a bit. Okay, so it's a picture. It's kind of stupid, but you're going to remember it. Later on, when I say letter S, you're going to think snake. Why are you so stiff? Magic marker, you know? Or you might look at it and say, so you're a magical snake, aren't you? Magic marker, you see what I mean? So find something with the item that's kind of funny. And that's what we're going to do. So that's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and start out. So the letter A, it's going to be teddy bear. So whatever the animal was that started with an A, think of something funny, something cartoonish, something bigger than life having to do with a teddy bear. What would the letter A relate to a teddy bear with? Or what would he do or think of or whatever? So I'm going to give you a moment. A, your animal, make something funny, something cartoonish with a teddy bear. Letter B, think of your animal. You can just let go of A right now. Think of your animal for letter B. And the word you want to remember and put in a picture with them or a sentence with them is desk. A desk, like the one I'm sitting at right here. Great. Letter C, what was your animal for letter C? Microphone. Put them with a microphone. What would that be like? Make it a funny picture. If it's something that's really normal or ordinary, it's going to be hard to remember. Something that's funny or outlandish will be easier to remember. The letter D, what was your animal for the letter D? And the word is water bottle. Okay, just a simple plastic water bottle that you drink from. The letter E, what animal started with the letter E? And make some kind of picture, cartoonish, strange picture with the word office chair. Office chair. The letter F. What was the animal that started with F? Orange juice is the word. You need to make a picture of your animal with orange juice. The letter G. What was your animal for G? And the word is stapler. Stapler. I just like saying that word, stapler. So think of something with that. The letter H. What animal started with an H? And you need to put it in a sentence with trash can. You can tell these are all things around my office, right? Trash can. I said they were random. Number 9, or letter I. What animal started with an I? Computer. You knew that was coming. Computer. And finally, J. Pencil. Use the word pencil with the animal that started with the letter J. Great. So now you filed all these different random items with your 10 file folders in your mind. Let's see how well it worked, okay? What I want to do is I would like you to get a piece of paper, put it someplace, and I want you to write down, as I give you the letters, write down the item that I told you. You don't have to worry about the animal. Just write down the item, the random item that you memorize, and we're going to see how many you got. Ready? Let's start with A. What was the thing that I told you to memorize with A? Not the animal, just the item. B. Think of your animal. What was it doing? Where'd you put them? What's the item for B? C. D. What was the animal that started with D, and what was the item? E. How about F? Animal that started with F, what was the item that you had to memorize? G. H. What was the animal and item that went with H? Write down the item. I. The letter I, think of the animal, and what was the item? And J. Think of the animal and write down the item. Now I went fairly quick going through these 10, okay? And I understand that, but I'm doing on the video and without seeing you, I don't know how long you're taking to think. Some of you are probably waiting for me to finish. Some of you are like, oh, that's not enough time. So when you're doing this on your own, take the time you need. The more outlandish the picture, the better it's going to look. So I'm going to put all the different items up, and I want you to write down how many you got right, okay? So I'm going to put the item up here on screen. So A through J, all the different items. You count how many you got, and I'd like you to write in the comments at the bottom of this exercise how many you got right. It'd be interesting to see, and everybody else will love to see. You can try it again on your own. Take your time. You could pause it. There's no reason why you can't pause my video between each one, and try it on your own and see how you do. I hope you enjoyed the exercise. I'd like to thank you for watching, and have a spectacular day. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here, and today I'd like to speak to you about how to stop getting what you don't want. This is one my wife uses on me all the time. When you get feeling down, thinking about all the things that you don't want in life, just stop and ask yourself, what do I want? It's that simple. Why? Because the subconscious mind does not understand negative. When you don't want something, you're attracting to you exactly what you don't want. Think about that. Here's an example. Right now, don't think about a purple monkey playing the banjo, jumping up and down on the kitchen table in front of you, okay? Don't think about it. Did you think about it? Of course you did, because the subconscious doesn't understand negative. So in order to not do something, you have to focus on doing it. And as you know, whatever you focus on, you attract to you. Here's another one. Try telling someone, don't look, and see if they do. You're in the corner doing something, you're wrapping a birthday present and for your wife, and she walks in, you go, don't look. You may as well have just said, look, I'm wrapping your present, okay? It doesn't understand negative. So from now on, only say what you do want, never what you don't. By the way, don't subscribe. Did you think of subscribing? Don't fight it. If you feel it, do it. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Hi everyone, Rainy Bastarash here, and today I'd like to speak to you about how to eliminate fear. This is an exercise or a mind hack that you can do very easily. In fact, I'm going to walk you through it, so if you have fear, you can do it with me. And also, this exercise can be used for eliminating pain as well. If you use this for pain, it's important to understand that pain is a warning signal. So before you use this, please check with your doctor to find out what's wrong. Like I said, it's a warning signal, and let them know about this exercise. So check with them and get their approval first. I'm not a medical MD or a psychiatrist. I'm just doing this as a way to help you with an exercise that I've used many times for myself and for my followers. So in order to eliminate fear, like I said, you could do it with pain, but I'm going to speak about fear for right now. In order to eliminate fear, all you need to do is to change its nature. Fear is subjective, not objective. In other words, fear is not real. You can't hold it. You can't see it. Okay, it's in your head. It's subjective. So if we can change the nature of fear from subjective to objective, you've changed what it is, and it doesn't exist anymore. Very similar to seeing the transformation between a caterpillar to a butterfly. Once it becomes a butterfly, it's no longer a caterpillar. Matter of fact, if you yank off its wings trying to make it be a caterpillar again, you killed it, okay? It's not going to be a caterpillar. So fear works the same way. So here's how we're going to do it. I want you to use your imagination as we go through this, and I'm going to recite it the same way I would to a client. You can do this in person. You can do it over the phone with someone else if you like. So as I'm doing it, obviously you're not going to be able to answer me. Normally when I ask these questions, the person would answer me so I could repeat them back to the client. So I'm going to ask you these questions, and I want you to answer them to yourself, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to eliminate fear. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Normally I'd tell the client to close their eyes because it's easier to experience this, to use your imagination with your eyes closed, but it doesn't matter. It does work with your eyes open as well. So I'd like you to imagine that you were able to place this fear that you're experiencing in a box. Okay, so the fear is in a box. Use your imagination. How large a box would it need to be? So imagine that if it's a lot of fear, you might say it's 2 feet by 4 feet. So whatever size it is, think about that. You can say it out loud to yourself, write it down if you want, but how large a box would you need to contain the fear? If the fear had a taste, what would it taste like? Take a moment and think of that. If the fear had a taste, what would it taste like? Would it be salty? Would it taste like sulfur? Would it taste like ammonia? What would it taste like? If the fear had a sound, what would it sound like to you? Would it be a high-pitched screeching? Maybe the sound of taking your fingers on a blackboard and scratching it down there, something shrilling. What would the fear sound like to you? If the fear had a color, what color do you imagine it would be? Lots of people will say dark brown, maroon. Some will say a rusty color. What color would this fear be? If the fear had a smell, what would it smell like? Some people will say rotten cabbage, bad eggs. Okay. What would this fear that you were experiencing smell like? Now, if you were to hold this box in your hands, how heavy would the box be? Think about it. Would it be a pound, 5 pounds, 100 pounds? How heavy would the box be? Now, I want you to imagine all of these together. So we're going to go back to your initial answers. Imagine the fear inside this box. What size is the box that you chose? Imagine the taste of it, the sound of it. What did it sound like to you? The color. Imagine the smell and the weight of it. Get it all clear in your mind and imagine it as if you're holding it right in front of you right now. If I were with a live client, I'd say, go ahead and nod your head once you've accomplished that. Or on the telephone, I'd say, go ahead and let me know as soon as you've accomplished that. And now if you open your eyes, your fear is gone. Isn't that amazing? You changed the nature of the fear into something else. You used your imagination and it was gone. And the reason for that is that the subconscious mind does not understand the difference between a real or an imagined memory. So you actually changed it on your own. Now, in some cases, people might say a little bit of the pain or the fear remained. They still have a little bit left over. So if that be the case, go ahead and do the exercise over with them. Each time you do it, it'll become less and less. Or if it's just a little bit, on a scale of 1 to 100, if it's only 10% left, that might be fine. They could probably live with that. So again, that's up to the individual. Try it. It works great. Like I said, for fear, for pain, but please check with a medical professional before you try it for pain, because we don't want to get rid of that warning signal if it's warning you that there's a problem. Thanks for watching. Please share this with your friends. It's something everyone can use at some time. And don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day.